Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 183 of the Splashcast. The mic check.
Check.
About to mic drop, but
you man, making edits already. But welcome to the mic check. This is the point where we just make sure the shit working right. Have a seat, have a drink, maybe have you a little water to prepare yourself for the drinking we'll do later. Whatever it is, make yourself comfortable. And let's make sure that everything is cooling.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We got a few things we're gonna talk about today, man. Well, first off, how you doing, brother? Doing all right? Feeling good?
I'm doing all right. Doing better than last week, which is all you
Woo!
can ask for.
That boy told me. So we always have a debriefing, y'all. We always have a debriefing kind of after the episode for about 30 minutes, depending on now if it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, one of them 5-hour episodes sponsored by your greatest whiskey. We normally won't have a debriefing, but like last week we had a debriefing. That boy Norwood said, "Yo, I'm just annoyed. You pissed me off." I was like, "I pissed you off? What I do?" You little laughing. I said, "Oh yeah, he big mad."
Yes. As once again, and every time I look at it, I get excited. Y'all see the podcast looks different. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe while we here. Even the way we got this, because I got mad. So as I learned this, it's a labor of love, but it ain't easy. And even when you study all week and try to put things in a row, it's always gonna be somebody somewhere hating. In this case, the hate was out of my control. I wasn't happy about it. And as the old people say, when Reggie was back there sniggling, yeah, I was like, no, you need to stop. You're infuriating.
I only was laughing because it was more like you have revelation. Like everything I was going through with OBS, you was going through just then and there from the beginning.
Right in the Bible. That's what we need to leave Revelations.
I see you got the background picked up over there. You got the Hank Aaron in the background. You need to flip your camera, but got the Hank Aaron in the background.
No, we good. But
backwards. It's backwards.
To you only. Gotta be. But with that being said, yes, I'm cooling. I'm getting better day by day, step by step. And we're gonna take it from.
Thank goodness it's Monday though.
Exactly. With that being said, I hate to start like this, considering things have been so good. With that being said, unfortunately, we have to give RIP to the big man, George Foreman, heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion, Good Samaritan, all of the above. Unfortunately, passed earlier this week. This is a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it is 76 years old. Two-time world champion, of course, the oldest man to win the heavyweight championship with his knockout of Michael Moore, which kind of, I don't want to say it solidified his reputation before it solidified his legacy boxing, because up until that point, he was known as the guy that got knocked out by the rope-a-dope, right? So, and then he also fought Evander Holyfield as he was older. But for him to win the championship that old, and for his boxing career to be one of the least impactful things of his life, is one of the biggest kudos you can give to him because of his philanthropy, along with the George Foreman grill, his marketing sense, of course, with
and name all his kids George, man.
I was getting there, and 10 Georges. 10 George. Shout out to my friend Malcolm from Hampton. His grandfather made sure, I think he had all daughters, or he had daughters. So he made sure that all his daughters, when they had sons, had to give him their middle name, his middle name, which was Joe. So Malcolm, all of his cousins have like Joe as a middle name, similar to George Foreman with George.
Shout out to the big man. Where do we go next? We go to, now I'm gonna start this off by saying me and Reggie want to be culturally correct, polite. We don't know if these humans are Samoan, Polynesian, but what they are is problematic, and they're also basketball team creators.
Oh,
what you're
my God.
yes, what you're seeing right now is, I guess these are parents who are doing an Oklahoma drill after the fact of practice. My thing with this is, like I said, we think that they're Polynesian or Samoan, whatever it is. The problem is what about if you're in this family and you're a basketball player? Dog, I'm not doing this with y'all. I don't know if this is Australian rules football. I know that's a concussion. I don't know if this is whatever it is. It looks like it hurt.
Y'all.
How,
I don't know if. Go ahead.
How drunk do you have to be to do this, Reggie?
For against them? No, absolutely not. I'd have to be on LSD. I'd have to not feel it. I'd have to not feel it or not see it coming. Pause if necessary. Like that. Dog. I assume everybody at this point, we're making assumptions. We're 183 episodes in. I'm making assumptions that you watch sports. You know kind of your stuff if you come talk with us. If you remember Haloti Naha from the Baltimore Ravens.
Absolutely.
Defensive lineman who was an Australian rules football player, rugby player, and came to the NFL and was just big and athletic.
Big and
imagine a whole field of these guys doing the Oklahoma drill if you played football in high school.
You mean WWE?
No pads. Bro, that one dude that just ran him over looks like he's 6'3", 300. And there's 12 of them out there, and they kids out there laughing like, ha, 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 ha. I never do that.
This is fantastic because you probably seeing your parents get smoked. Or if you're not seeing your parents,
what you gonna do about it? You can't say nothing.
No. Either your parents are getting smoked or your dad is the biggest on the block. Either way, it's like, well, what you gonna do? Who got a problem and who do you have a problem with? I don't think you have a problem with me.
My answer to that is Kendrick versus Drake. Yes, Kendrick whooped Drake, according to some. But all the rest of y'all can't whoop me. Yeah, I got ran over by the biggest dude on the block in this video, but can't none of the rest of y'all whoop me. So that's how I look at it.
No, this is a pistols only event.
But
and I got it. Hey, bro. I got it on my hip, big dog. I'm shooting. I will not add. Hey, send a mask. One good thing is you can shoot them, and as long as you get close, you don't get them.
This is why they need to see. If I'm an NFL team, I pay all of them to be my kickoff team. Just be my kickoff team. That's all I would do. And then if you're really good, you can play. Like, dog. We'll move past
that.
I don't want to stay here too long, but they are beastly.
That's the reason that the NFL stopped the wedge right there, because no, I'm not dealing with that.
That dude dove head first. If you can go, where is
you?
Is it this guy right here?
That's a poor life decision.
Woo.
Yeah, I mean
the guy that dove into him, that was crazy.
Not doing it.
That guy. Yo, for now, it's a guy at second 5. Boom. Yo, he left his feet and still got ran over. That's humble.
No.
He laughed.
Yeah, because these people think that this is fun. I am trying to live to see another day, and you guys are not really helping me in that process. So no, I'm not doing it. I don't find it funny. I don't find it intriguing. I don't find anything about this something that I really want to do. So respectfully, all y'all can go to hell. With that being said, I'm gonna pull this right on down because we don't need to see people get injured like this no more. And speaking of people going to hell in very interesting situations, next we're going to talk about Jaden Daniels and Juju. They attended a basketball game together. And I'm going to take y'all through what it's like to go somewhere with your mama, if your mama's anything like mine. This is the beginning. I want you to notice that's Mama Daniels down there to the bottom left. You can see the eyes pointing in the right direction so you can see. This is Juju. She's sitting right here next to Mama Daniels. And then you have Jaden Daniels sitting here on the right. So this looks like an unassuming, friendly experience. My mom is here. Juju, fantastic USC basketball player, is here. And we're just having a good time. Next, we're kikiing. We are laughing. She laughing at these jokes. We having a good time. I want y'all to know the score 21-14. Mississippi State up on California. 1 minute, 24 seconds left in the second Right. And then Mama said, "Oh, we done playing here." Somehow, Jaden Daniels' mother has inserted herself between these two. I don't want to call this hate, but it is surely something. And I want to know how you feel about this, Reggie, as also as a man with a strong-willed mother and a parent.
It's not hate. So the more I thought it was hate at first, I had all the jokes, and I'm gonna say the jokes. Yeah, stay away from my son. He's 24. He's already got this money.
Look at the fun. Look at the joy. You can see every tooth in his mouth. Dude.
Yeah, they're having good fun, but it's not hate, because if you watch the video, she is sitting there and she's talking to both of them, and she points to the camera. So I don't think it was hating on them, those two being there together, and she doesn't want her around her son. I think it was more of she's trying, whatever the brand or reputation that they have, she's trying to keep everything private. Now, do I agree with that? No. But it is what it is. I mean, they both millionaires.
You doing this is gonna make it less private. Yeah. Now you become fodder for me and Reggie. And I mean, we gonna laugh. And we've been there. Excuse me, ma'am. Who are you? Hey, mama. I know.
Oh no, you get pre-pledged for that. Hey, who's this on my phone? Who you got calling my house? You remember that?
No. Well, it's a different lifestyle. You don't have to worry about who's calling my house anymore because I have a cell phone. But that's still my phone because I pay the bill. But that's not really the truth because you don't pay the bill anymore, Ma, because I am the #1 quarterback for the Washington Commandos. And parents do not give a what. I don't care about them people at your job. So my mama still tells me to this day, I don't care about none of them people at your job. When I call you and you need to do something,
my dad still calls me. He'd be like, "Yo, you busy?" I'd be like, "Yeah." He'd be like, "Cool. So this is what I need you to do."
Right. Did you not hear anything about what I just said? Like I just told you, yes, I am in fact busy. I don't have a moment right now. When I get a chance, I will. They don't care, and they never will.
If you were that busy, you wouldn't have answered the phone. I'd be
right.
See, now I gotta ignore your call.
And then if you answer, damn, you're ducking me now, huh? Well,
I could have been. Yeah, all right, man. You just told me
gone, but the Lord let me live on, boy.
Yeah. Shout out to Pops. 70th birthday just passed.
Oh, shout out to Pops Davis, big 7-0. In more parental news, this is what we got coming up next. Is quite the story.
None of that. Let me tell you, I beat the dog. I don't SH*T out of somebody. They did this to my child on this site. I wouldn't even have to do nothing. It wouldn't even beat me.
And this is in upstate New York, surely.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Northville High. We're gonna let the reporter actually do the reporting, and then we will come back and get your opinions and give ours.
Some may find this video upsetting. After Northville's loss in the Class D championship game, Zulo was seen pulling the hair of senior Haley Monroe as the team waited for the medal presentation. The video has garnered a lot of outrage on social media. Zulo told News 10 ABC that Monroe directed an expletive toward him after he instructed her to shake hands with the opposing team, which is what he says led to the incident.
Oh, Jim Zulo, I will beat your ass. As a person who has an uncle who has shown his ass and his fair share of sporting events, shout out to my big dog, Uncle Curtis. We don't play these games right here. Jim Zulo, you not making it out of this gym. Like I told y'all in the group chat, big dog, I'm finna mop the floor with him like them big dust mops your coach make you dust mop before practice. That's what I'm doing with him. I am beating the brakes off of him. Pads, shoes included. You get a whole new set and rotors, my dog. It's over.
I don't know. I'm very. It would take me a moment to realize what just happened. Like I would be like,
I'm finna sell y'all my bail money. Reeves, which coach did it?
Candace would be like, did he just pull her hair? And before I could say yes, she would be in the air with the punch thrown. like immediate. Let me tell you, and that run in my family. You know, my grandmama. So my dad got in a fight in basketball. And his cousin, oh, you know about Columbia. He went to Columbia High. All his cousins on his daddy's side went to Eau Claire, which is the rival. So, and he was the youngest cousin. So they were all playing against him. He was playing against his family, but he was at Columbia. And
been there before.
Our cousin elbowed him in the lip. He still got a scar to this day. He said he saw the blood and he threw a punch, and another cousin hit him. And then no, another one of their teammates hit him, and then our cousins like came to his defense. And before everything cleared out, my grandmama, Big Mama, R.I.P., was on the court, shoe in one hand, purse in another, swinging. Bow,
hey,
bow.
we finna get peace out of confusion. We finna get to the bottom of this.
You say
right now, man. Yeah. And anybody who get in here, you'll be a whooped ass.
And I'm fine with it. Said, my dad was like, yo, it didn't matter. And that's how I would be. It would, I'm sorry, y'all better clear out in upstate New York, I'm going to jail for real. You might deport me at where we are in life right now. But I would kick your ass, boy. That old man might go see God, and he closer to God than I am. So,
RSVP. Let me tell you, reservation for one. Where you going? The upper room, one way. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. He ain't coming back down here with the rest of us. Now we're gonna move on. We're gonna hit y'all with, of course, what we got to close out with. The Bravos, as y'all see, Big Hank in the back. We have traded Anderson to the Los Angeles Angels for left-handed pitcher Jose Suarez. Of course, this is interesting to me because Ron Washington, our former first base coach, is the manager there. Us getting a left-handed pitcher back, I think, is a good thing. We're in the process of trying to put together a pitching staff so that we can be competitive. Reg, what's your thoughts on this one?
Shout out to the Angels becoming the Braves reclamation team. So
we're sure to send you to Washington.
Ian Anderson was supposed to be like the third person in rotation between Strider and up until he was traded Max Fried, or up until he signed in free agency, Max Fried, third overall pick. He was part of the 2021 World Series and pitched a win, 5-inning shutout. But then he had Tommy John surgery the next year, and he's just never been the same with his control. He gave up like 4 straight home runs before they finally traded him, like in a minor league game. He just never got his control, and it's sad because of the Tommy John. Hopefully, this second chance is kind of like Chris Sale for us, where like he gets a fresh start with a familiar face. We wish him nothing but the best, but it had to be done. Now Suarez, I don't know who you are, big dog. Ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, I tried to look you up. They ain't got really nothing but a 6.01 ERA, which is concerning. Which means you are bullpen probably.
But just like you said with Ian Anderson, we wish you the best. We also have no issues with you possibly coming back. Familiar face for the umpteenth million time. Jesse Chavez was with the Rangers. They released him. And yes, this is the 43rd time in a row we've brought Jesse Chavez back to the Atlanta Braves. We have no problem spending the block, and his block is always available to be spent. So he's back. Again.
And shout out to Jesse Chavez. This ain't nothing but a Walmart greeter job for him. You know them old folks when they retire, right before they retire or after they retire, they get the little Walmart greeter. He take the minimum wage. He come in, he pitch an inning. He don't even be pitching an inning sometimes. Now he will if we hurt, but normally he comes in and just gets like a
friend of the program, man.
Type of batter out
of the program. Friend of the
he gets a specific type of batter out. Like and that's it. And he gonna do it every time. He's very consistent. So yeah,
shout out to y'all hiring. Y'all, and you know what? We're gonna see you next season.
45. You know, we'll pay you if you do something. You pay into your geriatric years.
Speaking of, we'll see you next year or maybe not. Jared Kalenic is reportedly livid that Braves signed Alex Verdugo, formerly New York Yankee chain wearer. Jared Kalenic, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you.
You go first because I've been trying to say the same thing.
Shut up. You barely here now. They already went and got Profar. We got Verdugo. Now, this is the thing. You can either be quiet on a good team or you can be loud on a sorry-ass team. And for me, it don't make me never mind. Whatever you want to do. Bro, this is the only team I got. And you think I'm finna play with you? Boy, you'll be a fired ass if you playing with me.
Bruh, it's it's one spot in the outfield for 4 people. You couldn't have thought you were the person that was gonna get it. We brought in 2 other people. Listen, it's Ronald Acuna when he's healthy, Mike Harris, and a platoon. You ever heard of a platoon clinic? That's what you are. You on a platoon. We literally will rotate y'all until whoever's doing well. Now you want to be mad and be bad and do all, hey, get out of here. Cool. We're not sending you to the Dodgers. There's no, we ain't sending you nowhere good.
Home. Or you can go home.
No, because we don't want you to sign with the Dodgers. We're gonna send you to
we're gonna send you to on the Dodgers neither. Let me tell you that. See,
yeah, they pretty set, actually.
Right. Let me tell you, bro. And if you think you
Anaheim, what y'all got? Y'all got something else? Oakland. Send us another player.
I'm not sending Ron Washington nobody who don't know how to act now. Ron ain't going.
Oakland.
You know
some players now.
He'll be the only athletic left. Let me tell you that. But you either gonna get right or you'll get left, Jared Clinic. And I'm gonna tell you, I was one of 2 people on the planet who was like, you know what? This guy's not terrible. Let's keep him around. But let me tell you, we looking for high character players over here and people without problems. You're doing too much talking and not enough playing. Let me tell you that. We don't care.
Forgetful. Your name is Forgetful, Clinic. Up until this report, I had not said anything.
Go.
I had no clue who you were. I don't like
just like I removed you from the screen. We will remove you from this team. You ain't gotta be here. The door is open. Now, in better news, and something that y'all hear us in the podcast with, well, not almost every time, is More Black Baseball. The Braves had added catcher Drake Baldwin to the opening day roster. You know how much we champion black baseball players. This is exciting. We do know Sean Murphy's having a little bit of health issues, so this is fantastic for us on 2 ends. I think a guy who's actually a pretty good baseball player. And like we always say, we want to see more black baseball players. This checks all the boxes for the Splashcast. What you got, Reg?
Hey, man, this is his opportunity. He's a catcher, right?
Correct.
Right, behind Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy has been hurt every season he's been here. Now, when he's not hurt, he's good. But I think it's been 3 years now. He's been hurt for a significant amount of time every season. So you're going to have an opportunity to play. You're going to have an opportunity to make an impact. You're going to have an opportunity to get used to all the pitchers because we let go of Darno. Darno's in
exactly
with the Angels, ain't he?
I don't know. He ain't with us no more, unfortunately. Hey, no.
I mean,
nothing but respect to him. But you're like you're exactly right. This is an opportunity. This is probably an opportunity going forward as long as you play well and shut up. I don't really like to tell people to shut up and play their sport, but it's the Braves. Shut up and do your job. We want rings and trophies around here. We play team ball, but I'm excited for him. I've been watching. I was hoping that he was going to be the guy who got the opportunity, and he did. Anthopoulos, you my boy. I don't know what else to say, man. You my boy. And I don't know if this is strange news, unfortunate news, but it is news. The 11-year-old boy who pulled a Paul Skeens MLB debut patch card sold it for $1.1 million. US dollars. That ain't Bitcoin. That ain't Ethereum. That ain't Monopoly money. That ain't Usher bucks. $1.1 million. Oddly enough, Paul Skeens will only earn $875,000 in 2025. Now, I look back because we covered this on the podcast earlier where they made the offer for that card, and it was nowhere near $1 million. Now, I also understand that Paul Skeens probably couldn't afford to offer him $1 million considering he's only going to get paid $875,000. Shout out to that kid. School gonna be different for me for a long time.
Yeah, shout out to you for $1.1 million for whoever bought it recognizes and is betting that.
What grade are you at 11?
Fifth or sixth grade.
Oh, back up, teacher. Don't talk to me.
But shout out to the kid. But at the same time, you're betting that Paul Skeens is going to be good. Now we've seen, and I'm not wishing this on him.
I sold it. I'm betting on my money. I'm betting on index funds.
The buyer. So like you would assume the Pirates. Y'all better. I mean, I'm not telling y'all to make this money, but if I'm Paul Skeens, I'm sitting out.
He's out of there.
I'm sitting out. Y'all got to do something. I'm not. I'm the best pitcher in the National League. Y'all pay me $875. Listen, what's the dude that made?
I can't go for that.
What's the dude that made like $400 million? Steven Strasburg. Look, I need my money now. Like after Strasburg, nobody's gonna pay you for potential anymore.
It's my money, and I want it now.
I go get that money now, dog. I ain't man. Paul Skeens. Have y'all seen? If you watch baseball, just go look at Paul Skeens and show his pitching arsenal where they put all 4 pitches together at the same time. You can see, bro. People have no shot. He has a 102-mile-an-hour fastball, bro. Paul Skeens, go get some money, little boy. You smart.
You'd be better off having me play quarterback for the Steelers than play for the Pirates. Ain't happening. Not going to happen. Happened with a T at the end. That's how serious I am. I'm not playing with you at all. I think that the mics have been successfully checked. We've had some foolishness, some fights, maybe a little love and attention, and potentially an old person getting whooped. And I'm okay with all of it. With that being said, we're going to step away here briefly. I would say refill with water first. We do drinks after HBCU. And yeah, we'll get drunk and talk basketball and football. How that sound?
We'll be right back. Y'all make sure y'all do what? Like, follow, subscribe, share, tell a friend, leave some comments in the section. If you're here, let us know where you're from. And can't wait to see y'all back. Episode 183 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw on the way. Right back.
Band be a part of TSU.
You got it's muted.
Me and Reggie did not have mics to start out. Welcome to episode what, Reggie?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 183 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homeboys. And rule number one of podcasting is unmute the mics if people gonna hear what you have to say.
Yeah, man, we'll get there. Y'all know what it is, man. You know, we just finished the mic check, ironically. Y'all go back and listen to it. We used to call it the pregame, but mic check is better because we're always trying to figure some stuff out. What's up, Sneaky? Shout out. Thank you for everybody joining us. Y'all know what it is. On episode 183 Monday Night Raw, we do HBCU news around the culture, followed by football or basketball. This time it's gonna be basketball and football. How you feeling, brother? We back?
I am ready to get into it. I think that you're probably doing a little bit better than me this time. Maybe. I don't know. I guess the HBCU, we cover a lot of bases here with this one. I guess we should start with an Hampton alum. I think that's the most fitting place, since I think last episode we closed HBCU with Monet Davis, Hampton alum. We should start out with Dante Abercrombie, Tennessee State hockey head coach.
Oh, yeah. So
we're going to let him tell
of TSU hockey.
I want that for sure.
Will the band be a part of TSU hockey?
I want that for sure. It's not my call. I'm not the band director, but talking out the side of your neck is something that I absolutely want played at a hockey game. Like, can you imagine the tubas blowing in? It doesn't matter which arena it is. It's going to be a local community rink or it could be Bridgestone Arena. That's something that the world loves. Like, that energy is something that hockey is ready for. I believe the hockey world in general wants this, so now we just have to continue to get the message out on platforms like yours.
They don't want it. Y'all blow them backing horns. Y'all beat on drum. But let me tell y'all right now, boy, Tennessee State coming there playing, talking out the side of y'all neck.
Listen. Y'all gonna be sick of us. Y'all done let us in swimming, rugby. Y'all done let us in soccer, field hockey. Now we in hockey, ice hockey. And guess what?
Sailing.
Guess what Howard did? Guess what
women?
Guess what Howard did for they swim meets? Brought the band. Guess what Tennessee State gonna do? Bring the band. Y'all gonna be mad at Minnesota. Oh, y'all not. Y'all can play us. Y'all gonna have fun anyway. You try to be like us anyway.
Hey,
we gonna be out there.
Fly to the bumblebee head ass. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. LSU, y'all already co-opted something that y'all have no business touching in the first place.
And
I
Florida
still
State,
don't like that.
State. Y'all be biting FAMU, and LSU be biting Southern. Y'all be trash.
I love that. Of course, the coach is Dante Abercrombie, once again, Hampton alum. And on top of that, it's Tennessee State. This is very black. This is black as hell. And yeah, y'all gonna be mad. And we don't care at all. At all. We support it. We love it. I want more of it. What you gonna do about it?
Speaking of Tennessee State, the football team made waves. We talked about Eddie George going to Bethune-Cookman. Eddie George going to Bowling Green State University. Well, they have replaced him with former DC Defenders head coach Reggie Barlow. Reggie Barlow coached in the XFL, where he was coach of the year, and before that he had experience coaching Alabama State as well. So he is now Tennessee State's next football head coach. He's been endorsed by Eddie George, and I think it's a great hire for the school. What about you?
Excellent hire. I know that for whatever reasons there was some shenanigans about possibly Jeff Fisher, whatever that is or was, don't matter. I think they made the right decision, and once again they've gotten somebody who culturally is very familiar with the game plan around there. And we want to branch out, we want to open these jobs to other people, but it's also about us maintaining and preserving the legacy at the same time, and this does that. Congratulations to Coach Barlow. Now you come in, you got to keep the program rocking, and there are some tougher days ahead, I probably assume. With that being said, that's the reason they hired you for this job, because they knew you were capable. You got to do we got to get it figured out.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine if he follows. I don't think Eddie George left the cupboard bare. Now the the transfer portal makes this interesting because you normally bring players that you're familiar with. So I
Right.
hope Eddie George doesn't leave it bare. But I mean, uh, I'm not going to hold him to that standard of you have to do what Eddie George did in the first year. Eddie George in his last year won the conference. So I think in terms of keeping it rolling, I think he's just going to have to not have a drastic drop off in the first year. And as long as you can do that, you'll be fine.
You know what the old people say? Just hold it in the road. Just hold it in the road.
Auburn. You want to go there? Auburn
Yep.
hires Norfolk State's Larry Vickers as its new head coach. Larry Vickers was the women's basketball head coach. He was the women's basketball head coach at Norfolk State, and they've won the MEAC. I think the last 2 years they
Sneaky as a clown.
Shout out to
Without a parachute, some say.
Coach Vickers. Shout out to Coach Vickers. I will say folks were kind of talking about it. He had already accepted the job because he accepted the job the day after they were eliminated. But I think from what I've read is that he was really torn and he actually did not make a decision. He just was told that they were very interested in him in the job. And then afterwards, after the game, they kind of, they kind of started ramping up the talks. And you can't be mad at him, man. This is a great opportunity.
Right. This is Norfolk State. We just talked about them last week. They had a fantastic run. I don't think did they lose any games or they had the longest streak, whatever it was. They had a fantastic season. You have to strike while the iron is hot. We understand. You should understand. If you don't, that's the reason you listen to us. Remember, like, follow, subscribe. The move from Norfolk to Auburn, what are we talking about here? It's a game changer. It's a salary changer. That's a life changer. That's everything changes. Everything. Your address change. The people you talk to.
Norfolk State is smart. If Norfolk State is smart, you keep in contact with him because more than likely he's going to take his staff with him and they're going to be looking for head coaches. They're going to be looking for head coach opportunities. But you can also kind of learn the tricks of the NIL. I think the biggest thing for when you have a coach leave an HBCU on good standings and go to a PWI is that the NIL setup and the way that they do things taxes wise, all of that stuff set up is in a whole different ballpark than because of the resources they're working with. So if you can plan ahead and work with them and not even with them, work with the coach and kind of say, okay, this is how we doing things or something like that. I think it could go a long way for building the program from the outside in. So, I mean, this is a great
having in a world now where there is more free agency, I tell you all the time, to have the opportunity to have, okay, well, you go to Auburn. Well, Auburn's going to have some players. They're probably not coming back next year. You know what best thing that Norfolk State can probably do is get some of those leftovers. Oh, well, you're struggling at Auburn? And we give you some money. We give you some shine over here. And for a lot of players, that's what they need. They just need another place to go. Hey, this isn't working out for me right now. And you have
basketball is it too.
Right. And it's not like Norfolk State is in a place where they were struggling. They just won the MEAC. They just played their ass off. So if you go into a program that's doing well, you're going to be able to be the big fish in a small pond. This might be the perfect opportunity, and you get an education. We don't talk about that nearly enough. Hey, man, transfer them credits, finish up your schooling, and then decide whatever the hell you want to do. To me,
Tennessee State making moves, coaches moving up. Norfolk State doing the same. They got Mike Vick. I'm really interested to see who they get to replace Coach Vickers. Keeping it in women's basketball. Southern University Lady Jaguars become the first ever SWAC women's team to win the NCAA tournament game. They beat a team. I don't remember. I was watching.
You see somebody. We see you going home.
Oh, UC San Diego. Oh, shout out to my boy. It's UC San Diego, San Diego has a very diverse population, and it was reflected on the team. But they was cooking from three, but they just couldn't do nothing else. Southern University Lady Jaguars, they had Coach of the Year. They won the SWAC. and beat Jackson State. They won the SWAC tournament, regular season and tournament champs, and they ended up winning this game. And then, of course, they had to go against the number 1 seed UCLA, which, I mean, the game went about as well as it could for them in that game. But the fact that they made history, this is great. And they're just going to keep building from there. I think they're going to end up being favored to win the SWAC next year as well.
Yeah, fantastic season. Once again, the first team ever. Put a banner up for that. Hey, and you know, that's what goes into the Sports Hall of Fame. Nobody did it before us.
That's
my jersey. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, you see San Diego, see yourself back to the crib. Adios, mi amigos. God is love. Peace.
Hey man, fundamentally sound. They were pretty good. This is not funny. It caught me by surprise. I've never seen this before. So James Colsey is FAMU's new head coach. Well, was named head coach, right? He also is moonlighting as an SEC umpire, where he was calling the pitches or home plate umpire for the Auburn Mississippi State game.
Hey man,
nothing wrong with it. Get paid.
I don't see nothing wrong with a black man with 2 good jobs. and none of y'all better say nothing about nor ball nor strike. Young man, I put my hands on you and I teach people to tackle for a living. So you keep playing with me, things will get real. This is dope, though. This is the guy who we all think we probably are in our head, the sports enthusiast. But no, I'm a head coach and I'm an umpire. I just know sports in and out. Don't talk to me about anything, whatever you think that you know, not the nth degree of information that I do. Congratulations. You kicking ass, bro.
I wonder, are there any rules? Because, I mean, if I'm there, you know, it'd be players that play 2 sports. Like they come in and they were former football players that play baseball, or they do both, or they're walk-ons. Man, if you ain't really playing too well. I know a school down in Tallahassee, or over, because Auburn is over. A school over in Tallahassee. I mean, you know.
You think he doing the Jedi mind trick recruiting?
Yeah, why would you not?
Hey, son, you don't look like you're the best baseball player. But what I can do is interest you in some football.
You could be a defensive end, son. Like, I mean, like, bro, like, why not? Now, I'm sure there's some regulations, some tampering or something. But right now, I would try it because we in the Wild Wild West. I mean, at this point, ain't really no rules. I would have all of the FAMU board at every game I umpire. Every single one. Don't matter. We offering money. Checks. You don't like it here. That's cool, though. Shout out to Cozy. Speaking of football coaches, Tony Carter, new head coach for Central State University. Young brother. He was announced, what was that, 2 days ago, as the new Central State University head coach. So congratulations, Tony Carter.
Yes, congratulations. Another great hire as they continue to, you know, stabilize and build that program. I mean, there's not much to say other than I think they're gonna have another good season.
They didn't another good season. Were they great last year?
I think that they were okay-ish. I don't know if they had the greatest season.
Well, you know that them and that I will say he's definitely gonna have a lot of support. I'm sure Stephen A. Smith. You know, he always goes to Central State for the HBCU. He goes to that Central State Kentucky State Classic. He's a former NFL cornerback and has coached at the professional and collegiate level. So he is one of the guys that could definitely relate to the players. He's young enough to be able to be in tune with the players and learn about all of this NIL stuff. And he's been at the professional level. So he brings, at this point, when you make a head coaching hire, you also have to make a head coaching hire that's going to be able to raise money. And the fact that he's coached in all of these different places at different levels, he's seen NIL, transfer portal, etc. He has it. So as HBCUs, as you can see, the theme of these coaches and that we're hiring is people that have connections to be able to hit the transfer portal and raise money. And I think Tony Carter is one of those guys.
And you have to do more of hit the ground running. It's not the ramp up that you've had in the past. where you've been able to kind of do those type of things. Now you got to, hey, can you raise money on day one? Can you recruit on day one? Can you win on day two? Can you like these people in the interview? Ed Reed. That just isn't
Edward.
There's no opportunity for the warm up that players, what coaches I think have had in the past.
Yep. So again, great hire. Can't wait to see everything there. And then I guess this will be the final.
No.
The final thing we talk about.
We'll get both of them.
Okay. You want to do Alabama State first? Or
no, do it last.
Alabama State. All right. Well, we'll start out with RIP to Dr. Walter L. Lovett. He is a longtime athletic director and Hampton football coach. He passed away on the 18th, 2025. He's from Hampton, so he is a homegrown
real man. 757.
757. Pledged his love and support to Hampton for basically his entire life. So we want to send T's and P's, thoughts and prayers, love and condolences to his family. Celebrate the life of Dr. Walter T. Lovett.
In the CIAA Hall of Fame, if I remember correctly, he coached at Hampton and Virginia State. His record is somewhere like 52-48. But longtime Hamptonian, longtime football coach. I think he won 2 championships. And he was coaching when it was Hampton Institute.
Yeah, a lot of the older players reached back out. One of the comments says he was one of the main reasons I transferred to HU was to play for Dr. Lovett. Thank you, Dr. Lovett, for all that you did for me and my son that played while you were the athletic director.
Sheesh.
So impact and legacy go far beyond the body. So shout out to Dr.
Speaking of impact and legacy, and we're going to try this, and it's going to act right. Wow.
3.4 saves are made.
Hold on. We're going to restart that so y'all can see this Alabama State. This is St. Francis at 16 versus Alabama State. This is the very last play of the game. And I'm going to give y'all some sound, but I ain't going to blow your ears off. How about that? And we're going to go 1, 2.
3.4 seconds left, and here we go. This is where dreams are made.
They call for it all.
Simpson, home run play, the deflection. Oh! The layup! 0.7 seconds left. Alabama State in front.
They decided to go for the gusto on that play and threw it the length of the court, thinking that somebody was going to get a hand on it. But watch this, Bureau. Everybody gets a hand on it, and they get a friendly, more than friendly bounce to get a shot.
Just knock it down, son. That's all I can hear is just knock it down, son. And they didn't. And
so that was a playing game for the tourney. And St. Francis had to play Alabama State. They did the full court heave. And the joke is, it's kind of like the Hail Mary in football. If you know you can't catch it, just try to tip it up in the air. And that's what they did. And Amar Knox caught the ball for Alabama State and scored and won. And Alabama State, SWAC school, got their first tournament win. Shout out to Southern and shout out to Alabama State. Funny story, Amar Knox for Alabama State, the one that scored the bucket, and Southern Jaguar starting point guard Dakia Sanders are engaged. And they both won that weekend. That was kind of the talk of the HBCU sports world. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, and if you were on Instagram, all the black people celebrated.
Every
This
time
one is for the blacks.
for Les Blancs. Yes, sir. Let me walk.
Oh man,
Yes, sir.
that was beautiful, and I think that is
fun. Yes, sir. But we come to the end of the HBCU news around the culture. We talked about a bunch of things today. Y'all let us in, and we ain't never leaving. And we bringing the band. R.I.P.
That's what he said.
Love it. I don't know. Is that what he said by bringing the band?
Hey.
R.I.P. No, stop it. We gonna take a break. Y'all go get y'all beverage. You are terrible. Go get y'all beverage, and if you understand why we laughing, then you right there with us with the flaming draws going to hell too. We got some hoops we gonna talk about, basketball, NCAA, NFL, Hawks talk, as well as
Reggie gonna try to convince me that the trade that I think is a good trade is a bad trade.
That is a lie. I'm just saying you can't make that comparison, but we'll talk about it. Y'all go get y'all beverage. You know what time it is. Norwood already told you. He said, "Hey, you know, we mic check, we sober. HBCU, we serious, and then we get the shenanigans for the last
drink responsibility." As Key Sweat said, it's that time, and that's what we gonna do. And that's
if y'all ever have a chance, go see Key Sweat at a concert,
or
you
don't
may not
just
be
watch.
Just watch.
Just watch at the house.
Send him a bottle of Hennessy, and you will be entertained for hours. You like, follow, subscribe. We'll be right back.
We shall be right back. We'll be right back soon as I can find the screen. Like, follow, subscribe.
Hey. Welcome, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment of
That boy
episode.
trying to hit him with the shoulder. Hit him with the shoulder. Hit him with the shoulder.
I like that. Shout out to Mark the Mogul, man, our in-house producer.
And send the pack, man. Don't make me get back in your DMs and have to harass you again. This is my line, brother. Y'all relax.
We are back with our hoop segment, episode 183 of the Splashcast. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and share this link out if you're watching it, or if you're listening back, tell somebody to come and listen and follow. Got a few things we're gonna talk about today. NCAA, interesting NIL, Liberty head coach as well. Then we got some Hawks talk, and then we're gonna talk about some other teams, the Bulls, and again, I'm gonna make fun of the Knicks because I want to troll y'all and told y'all we were right, and y'all could try to tell us that we were wrong, but hey, even y'all own player. With that being said, let's start out with Amir Khan, let's start out with Amir Khan.
There we go. Big Aura himself. This is McNeese State's manager, Amir Aura Khan. He has over $100,000 in NIL earnings through, I think, 6 or 7 different guys. If you remember, if you watch Instagram, you watch sports, he's the guy who you saw come out when McNeese was coming out and they was playing No Flocking by Kodak Black. And I don't know if they called it, they call it aura, I call it vibes or whatever you want to call it, but he was flexing when he came out. With that being said, from that, he has 12 NIL deals, all totaling well into the 6 figures. Buffalo Wild Wings, Tick Pig, TurboTax are his 3 biggest. Congratulations. You got to be at the right time. You got to be at the right place, and you got to do something different. And he does it. And the team supports him, and that's what I really like. The basketball team is right there.
I've never been more jealous. I was never jealous of NIL. Never. I was like, man, they all need to get paid. Get your money. Man, let me tell you, this sports, what is that, manager profession or volunteer is definitely about to grow. If I knew that I could get $100,000 a year for being a manager on top of and I'm sure they get a scholarship, but whatever, bruh, I'd have been a manager for the Hampton football team. Why not? I carry the boombox. 100,000. I'll be out there.
No, but see, this is a trick bag. What this does is this tricks people into believing that they could do that. You can't do that. There are countless, and I do mean countless other managers not getting paid anything. This kid did it right. Don't mean you're gonna do it right. So
yeah, you're right.
You could very well be the unpaid guy. So for me, it's about him finding his thing and committing to it, and the team supporting him. They are in all the interviews, everything. They right there. They're full support of him, man. It's dope to see, and I'm glad to see him getting paid. I want to see these players get paid. If managers can get paid, whoever, as far as a student athlete, whatever, y'all can get the money, get it, man. It took too long. And you're still not getting enough. So yeah, for all of the times they put him on TV, I know McNeese loves to see him on TV because I don't know
growing the brand.
I don't know where the hell McNeese State is, but I know him. So could be both. Don't care. At the end of the day, that's what matters, man.
Sorry, that's in Louisiana, Lake Charles. But yeah, so the reason I said I'm not really, if you remember, there was a football manager. There was a football manager named they called the Red Rocket down at Florida State. He would like hustle down the sideline. That's one guy that I know would have made $100,000. He used to like push the Miami. I remember just specifically Florida State, Miami, Florida State, Florida. He would always push the players off of him. He would like protect the players. He'd be in the middle of it. So I know he would have got some money. But shout out to the aura, as you said, and that comes from anime. This is anime generation. So aura, Not
And,
five.
and as you know from the group chat, I am the last person to have any anime. I've just finished my first anime. Congrats. Finished my first anime last night. Pantheon is fire.
Round of applause.
I'm trying to be in the group and not have to leave every time they talk about anime. So, and people who probably just need to leave. This is Liberty's head coach.
I forgot.
Hey, big dog. I don't even know this man's name.
Carlos Boozer Sr. That's
his name. Liberty Flames head coach Richie McKay has gone.
Oh, I can't laugh though. I'm
viral. Dog, yes, you can. Make peace with it, bro. This is my last year of my 30s. When it's gone, it's gone. But before it'll be gone, I won't do wrong. This is wrong. This is incorrect. This is against the rules. It ain't nothing but a George Jefferson with a Beijing on the front.
Oh, boy. And I mean,
that boy
why
got
would you
El Camino haircut? He got a car truck.
That looks awful. And they use such dark Beijing, but didn't color the rest of his hair. He still got gray hair in the rest of his head. So that means
in the
only
back,
his
artificial intelligence in the front.
He only got black hair where the hair ain't there. That's the only place.
And don't worry, this is the cover of the podcast. Big Richie. I don't care nothing about his team. I don't know if they won or if they lost.
Well, you know they lost. They lost. I can tell you they lost because I wouldn't look at no plays. I'd be staring at his hairline the whole game. Like, man, who? Somebody came to your house and sprayed your head and lined that up.
You know how good these players got to be? Because the first time Coach Richie said something to me, boy, if you don't get away from me with that lineup you got.
If I'd have paid him, I would. If you're gonna do that, just go ahead and cut the half off and get the little toupee glue. Just do that. If you're gonna do that, I'd rather get the toupee glue.
And then it's low. It's your hair is uneven. Why it's low on the front end and high on the back end? Hey, bro.
Yeah, I come on home before I do that. I come on home, bro.
Dog.
Now we've seen some people that we went to school with that had that too. Now they ain't gonna call no name.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I get down bad like that, y'all just go ahead and get me in the middle of the night. No, don't worry about it, dog. You good. You are good. Just let it go.
It ain't gonna grow back.
Right. That little bat right there. It's like Madagascar, just holding on.
I say you got a peninsula. A plateau, if you will.
We begin to rock. Steady.
A plateau, if you will.
No, what's the joint that's smaller than a plateau that nobody cares about?
Oh, bro, I don't know. I ain't took earth science since 6th grade. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to find
a
it.
hill,
that
a mountain,
that mesa. That's the mesa. That ain't no black
mesa. That boy. That boy got the LeBron Starfish for his hairline. Bro. That looks bad. It looked like it got dinosaur fossils in his head.
And it's like, number one, he thought he was gonna kill him with this. Number one,
he did.
Number two,
he did.
It's a barber out there like, please do not mention my name. I did the best I could. Why? But why?
Shout out to the cameraman for being petty.
I need a.
You ain't have to zoom in like this. You ain't have to zoom in like
because this other side over here look like it's about to is curling. All right, I'm gonna ask two more questions. I'm getting out of here. So, do you comb it or do you pick it?
Pick it. You pick it and then pat it back down.
Pick it back.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Pick it back.
Yep.
Bro, you better. You better learn how to let it go. Let it go, baby. That hair is a TKO.
He look bad, man. He looks bad.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have done that. That brings. If you would have just left it what it is, you would have just been more respected.
What it is. Oh man, I don't know exactly what to say, and that means it is time for us to move to the only other thing that I don't know what to say about is your Atlanta Hawks.
Hawks, 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 Hawks. We beating the teams we supposed to beat. That's all that matter.
We this week we have beat the Hornets, who are a flaming bag of garbage. No Brandon Miller, LaMelo sometimes, and LaMelo didn't play, and PJ Washington didn't play. So we played. They were literally G League team. Beat those guys. We beat them 134-102. It ain't really much to say when a team is literally just anybody you can find. You got any insightful Yoda-like thoughts on that?
Y'all see how I try to be positive? We beat the teams we supposed to beat. That's how I frame that. Positive.
Yeah.
Because if we would have lost it, what did I tell you about the 76ers? When the 76ers
No, we gonna get there now. We're making our way right.
No, I have nothing to say about Charlotte. We won.
Next,
there's nothing spectacular about that game.
Spectacular.
Big Z and Okongwu. Both of them been ballers.
We're gonna cover that once we get done. Next up, we beat the Golden State Warriors, and they did not have Steph. And I don't know what this like. They got the rookie Quentin Post playing center, and apparently he's a really good 3-point shooter. I don't know exactly what Moses Moody is or isn't. He is one of the him and Brandon and not Brandon. Jonathan Kuminga are just. It's like they're in purgatory. Like we see flashes of both of them, but they just can't seem to get on the Steve Kerr groove. And I don't know what to say. I also don't think that Steve Kerr is the best developer of talent either. So what you think about that one? Or just it's a game we should have won.
Shout out to the Hawks for winning. Sucks for Jimmy Butler because when Steph is hurt, you went from the Miami Heat to the Golden State Heat. That's all it was that was out there was just a new version of the Miami Heat. Except for instead of Bam, you had Draymond. Instead of what's the 3-point shooter?
No, I ain't gonna say that.
What's my man 3-point shooter? What's my man 3-point shooter?
Oh, Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero?
Duncan Robinson, you got Moses Wudo. You got Moses Moody. Instead of Tyler Hero, you're supposed to have Jonathan Kuminga. Like that team, they may not play the same positions, but they have the same roles. That team without Steph Curry, we were supposed to beat them. That's the Miami Heat to me.
I'm not gonna say that they're the Miami Heat. I personally think the Miami Heat are a flaming bag of garbage. And their record minus Jimmy Butler says so. The Warriors, you still have Draymond Green, future Hall of Famer, we assume. Moses Moody, for whatever varying degree.
You just said you didn't know what he is.
Yes, but I think that I want Moses Moody instead of Duncan Robinson. I want Jonathan Kuminga instead of Tyler Hero.
Why do you want Moses Moody instead of Duncan Robinson?
Because Duncan Robinson is a one-trick pony who was overpaid and should have never actually been on this team. I think that Duncan Robinson has been a scam for as long as a scam could have been a scam.
From a basketball standpoint, they're the same person. They shoot threes and play mediocre to bad defense.
No, I just strongly disagree. But you're entitled to your opinion. I had Duncan Robinson, boy. You damn near Davis Bertans. They both had one good season. They was like, oh, he's gonna be good. No, he ain't. And then you still got Buddy Hield. I think that he probably done in Golden State at the end of the season. But I mean, Buddy also started the season out on fire, and then he just cooled off and then never got hot again.
Which is the same story for him every year. Every year he start off, he be like, dang, he's shooting Buddy Hield going crazy.
Buddy shooting that thing, and then just never shot it again.
Break happened, and he go boo boo for the rest of the year. Same thing. Why Pacers trade him?
Yeah. So once again, another game that I think that we should have won. And then shout out to Brad Rowland, Locked On Hawks, fantastic Hawks podcast to listen to as well. He called the Sixers the zombie Sixers. I don't know if there's a more appropriate name for that team because they are
awful.
and you can look and maybe I'm tripping. He said they had 9 players available. I only saw 8 sweatsuits. And I was like, boy, where the rest of y'all team at? They are terrible.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you when you was like, you text me, said the Hawks, the 76ers only have 8 players. I said, Hawks only going to win by 4. Now, we ended up winning by a lot, but they cut it down in the second half to like 6 points.
Hawks will definitely play down to their competition, given the opportunity. This is just a low bar of competition in play. You've never heard of Justin Edwards before. You don't know where he came from or where he's going. Yabusele, the only thing that anybody knows about him is, he's a large human, not a tall human.
You know him from the Olympics.
A large human. Chuma Okeke, flaming back garbage.
Yeah, Westlake.
Oh, my bad. Jeff Doughton.
No, I mean, he's not good, but he's in the NBA, so we'll take him.
Alex Reese, number 60. I said, who is that? Boy. But overall, this is just a very terrible Sixers team. We beat them, and I think we beat them handily. But I also don't like that Trey played 33 minutes in this game. It shouldn't have been necessary. And y'all call me a Trey hater, I don't care.
Okay.
I think that Trey likes to stay in and play empty stat minutes so that he can pad his stats. Because I've seen this happen multiple times where it's at the end of the game, we've beaten the team, and once he's in his bag, he's like, oh, let me torture him. But then we also miss games for sore Achilles and stuff like that. We could get out of 28 minutes. We should be doing that.
You think Trey is the only superstar that does that or star that does that? I think every star does it.
Yes, but my issue is we're not playing certain games because of sore Achilles. Yeah. And the other part is, you know who they don't do that with? Zachary Ricochet. When he hit his number, I don't care. The world could be on fire. Ricochet not playing no more.
Ammo guy. Yeah, but they also, both of them were hurt. Like, guy had the back. Ricochet had
with dual sore Achilles. If you're hurt, then you need to sit down. We need to be saving you because there are 11 games left in the season. And I don't think it's realistic that we can get to 6. But, boy, we need to be doing our damnedest to try.
Did you watch this game?
Yes, from beginning to end.
It wasn't every time he sat down, the lead went from 20 to 10 to 8 to 12 to 11. Like, unfortunately, us not having a backup point guard really I like Veet, but I mean him running the backup point guard really ain't working.
Veet got to come out of there. He ain't playing enough, and I think the Veet is still hurt. That's the reason. But there's other combination of guys who you can play.
Who?
Terrence Mann, Karis LeVert, George Niang.
They tried that. They tried all of them at the one, not Yang, but they tried Terrence Mann as a backup one. You remember that didn't work out. And he ain't been here.
But what I'm saying is Veet's defense across the board, win or lose, Veet ain't been there defensively in the way. Buffkin is hurt, unfortunately. And if he wasn't hurt, he would be great. Unfortunately, for the last 2 seasons, we haven't had any Buffkin, which is tragic because that's what we need. We got to have a backup point guard. It is of the utmost importance, and I think that Buffkin is good if he could play. The issue is he is literally never available. Next up, I'm going to talk about Reggie's favorite player, not Reggie's favorite haircut.
Well, I don't like him per se, but he's growing. on me, pause if necessary.
Yo!
Him talking shit to Quentin Grimes. I was like, oh yeah, all right, that ain't too bad now.
George Niang is a guy that is he's
defense with his mind.
He's kind of to me like a Trae Young guy, and I'll tell you why. When he's on your team and playing well, let me tell you, it's not that bad, but he talks cash shit all the time. He told Quentin Grimes, hey, the only reason you're out here doing this is because there's no Tyrese and no Joel. If Joel's here, you're in the corner. If Tyrese is here, in the corner. You're a role player just like me.
Quentin Grimes said, yo, you shut up. You're a role player. And Yang was like, word.
Excuse me, say what? Hey, my name is
you
Kettle.
be in the corner. Shut your ass up. I said, oh, this is for real.
Now, I will say that guy losing Hunter, he's played pretty well for Cleveland, but LeVert, Mann, and Niang talk that shit.
They jump you.
Yes. And that's the reason I look back on the trade and we got rid of two, what I would call integral players, but we got three very solid players back. Long term, I don't know if Niang fits. I think he's the guy you probably trade, especially if he continues to play like this. Versus 76ers, 20 points, 6 and 9 field goals, 5 of 8 from 3. Versus the Warriors, 23 points, 8 of 11 field goals, 6 and 9 from 3. If you're a team who needs shooting and a guy who don't mind being an asshole, Niang's not the worst guy in the world. And as much as he's not a great small forward, I will say this until the cows come home, he's just a better power forward, in my opinion, in a pinch than DeAndre Hunter. So I don't hate that trade.
He is not a better power forward, in my opinion. But I will say the thing about a Yang that, again, that's changing my mind, the factor that he's talking a lot of trash. He's kind of like Solo Cup, Solomon Hill, is the fact that when he gets hot, like against the Golden State Warriors, he ain't hit no threes in the first quarter. In the first half, he hit 5 in the third quarter, and he was hitting them like he caught the ball and didn't bring it down and just.
He knows his role is I'm open, shoot it. If you can put him out there with a combination of Okongwu, Niang, Risache, Dyson, and Trae, well, you have the spacing because you got to respect Trae.
Yeah, he been cooking.
And then at that point, Niang is like, you got to respect Risache too, because Risache will get hot. He scored 13. He scored 16 points, and I think the Sixers had 13 points in the same little time. So once you got that, Niang is like, oh, this is my time. Just throw me the ball. Just throw it to me. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to make it. That's the, like,
yeah,
if he's open.
He hit that step back. When he hit the step back, I was like, oh, okay.
He's a shooter.
You are.
And I mean, regular season from 3-point, he's 42% from 3. That's what I was trying to convince you of. It's like, hey, man, I know it. Sometimes it looks bad.
He's awful on defense.
He looks slew-footed, slow-footed. All of that.
Drive to the basket, I'd be like, dang.
But if you can surround him with serviceable defenders and a little bit of spacing, then he can do the. I mean, he bad body. He body. He wear a t-shirt when he go to the pool. Let me tell you.
But when it's Trae, Karras, and then him, it's like, oh well, y'all can't stop either one of them because Trae gonna get to the line. Karras he can create his own shot, and at that point, we got Okongwu who now can do what he did, and we'll get there. All he has to do is just float to the top of the key, shoot, or go to the corner. Shoot,
and you're right.
Every time.
And if you don't have Dyson there, you have Trae, Karras, Risache, Niang, Okongwu.
Yeah, ain't nothing you can do. Now defense, we a little rough, but
Karras Karras is serviceable on defense. Okongwu cleans up. Ricochet gonna play. You got Niang and Trey out there. Hey, we gotta score more points in them. That's really the answer. You have to understand, y'all. Hey, it's gonna be easy buckets for whoever open, but you gotta hit the shots. That's really the key as far as that goes. And then since we were talking about talking trash, this is Karis LeVert. And let's see. So that is Karis LeVert, Jonathan Kuminga, and Draymond Green. Karis was telling Jonathan Kuminga that he's ass, and he might well be sometimes. And Karis was cooking, and Kuminga really didn't have an answer for him. But then Draymond pulled a big joke talking about you got traded 7 times, which is also factually accurate. So you can't be mad. Karis, you are an NBA journeyman. You were cooking Kuminga, and Draymond's scoop, flew in to save the day. I mean,
there are a lot of truths. There are a lot of truths told in that little exchange.
Hold on.
I don't think.
Shout out to Legends NBA. Y'all, if y'all don't follow them on Twitter, they put out the best video recordings, crystal clear, of everything that we've ever wanted to hear. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, if there's a lot of truth told. Now, I don't think Kuminga is ass, but I do think Karis LeVert can cook him, which he was. And I do think Kuminga saying, hey, but you can't.
We saw it. We saw it.
I don't think Karis LeVert, if Kuminga was featured, could guard Kuminga. Kuminga's too big. Pause if necessary. So there's that. And then Draymond swooping in and saying, you've been traded 7 times. That's true, too. Now, what I don't need is
17's wanted me, though.
What I don't need is Trey to say, relax. They just talking shit, Dre. No. Karis. My response is, bro, you wouldn't even be in the league without Steph. You should send everything that's yours, a replica, to Steph's side. Like that, at the end of the day, whether you believe that or not, I ain't gonna sit there and say you've been traded 7 times. Yeah, bro, and you deserve, your whole career deserves to be at Steph Curry. You will have no rings, nothing without being.
You can talk to a Hall of Famer, but he might Jordan Poole you. Question, since I'm kind of spitballing here. Karis LeVert for Jonathan Kuminga. Would you make that happen or no?
On this team? I don't know. Salary wise, I don't think that would match up because he wants to get paid. He's due for an extension, ain't he?
Who else we paying?
Trey. I'm about to pay Trey.
No.
For Jonathan Kuminga. That means you play Kuminga at the 4.
I mean,
I don't know how that works because he's going to want to start.
He ain't starting now.
You got Draymond. You got Jalen. You got Ricochet. You'd have to play Ricochet. Then you got Dyson. Yeah, nah. I mean, I don't know how. If you come off the bench, then sure. I mean, that gives us potency at the 4 off the bench.
Or the 3. That's the reason I do like Karis LeVert. I want to be very clear. I like Karis LeVert. I did not like him before he became an Atlanta Hawk. Seeing what he's done here, he is a guy who's right at the point. He's right at a point of, like, especially with the way that the NBA is set up now with the second apron and him being a very reasonable contract. Those guys, and I've been trying to tell y'all this for as long as the second apron has been around. Those guys are going to be infinitely more valuable now. The guy who you're going to pay $14, $15 million and can do what Karis LeVert does, that guy, that's the reason I'm looking and saying, all right, I see Terrence Mann, George Niang, and Karis LeVert. These are assets now. You can trade and get a guy back because we're gonna have money once the TV deal pops in. Jalen Johnson's $30 million. It's not a crazy contract. We got rid of Bogey, we got rid of Hunter, and we're gonna have some money now. I don't want to give all my money to Trey, to be completely honest with you. But like, I'm looking at.
I don't think we are.
If you're the Warriors, would you probably take Karis LeVert and George Niang for Jonathan Kuminga?
No, because
you depth.
Yeah, but they'd be giving up pause. They give up more size. They're already not. I mean, their centers are.
You got to go back into the draft.
Davis's son, and
they need a legit big. Like you need a large, not a big. Pause. You need a large. You need a human who's 7 foot. Y'all have gone the longest without getting somebody who is legitimately on. But I've also seen a lot of interest in John Collins to Golden State, which he ain't a big, but I think he would be tall enough for them.
If I were them and you really wanted to make that trade, I would get Karis LeVert and probably Clint Capella. Like that would at least give you somebody serviceable to be tall and get rebounds.
You're right.
Because Dre gonna do what Dre does.
Right.
And so I would do that, but the Hawks gonna lose Capella anyway. But I would do that for sure. Because then now we gonna go to the draft. They got us drafting a center and a wing anyway.
And so, Clint, that gets you to a good place. And you're sending them to the West Coast. Sign and trade makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But, here's what it is.
Okay. But that was just my thing. I was looking like, man, Kuminga I don't think that he sucks.
Need fresh air. Need some fresh air.
But he definitely due for a rotation. Speaking of a guy who don't need anything. Dyson Daniels, youngest players since 1973 to record 200 steals in a season. We are now getting into the rare conversations that involve the 70s when defense was respectfully called defense. When you're playing that level of defense, I think you're the defensive player of the
year. Yeah, and I'm happy that he's starting to get the respect from everybody, and the old heads are like calling him out, saying like Tony Allen, who just got the grind father. Ooh, that sounds crazy. From the grind house, crazier in Memphis, talking about he loves Draymond and Evan Mobley, but the guy in Atlanta is probably his defensive player of the year, and he's considered one of the best on-ball defenders of all time. And for him to call out Dyson Daniels, and now other players are frustrated, and you're starting to see like
5 steals, 76ers, 5 steals, 3 steals in the first quarter.
But even against like players, like I said earlier, James Harden cooked him. Well, then when you go back and look at the numbers, I mean, he playing well against Dyson Daniels is shooting like 38-40%.
Right.
Like he's doing stuff like holding people to like 15-20% for the game.
And you're out, like, I know y'all whatever, but Trey's out there. So they're trying to get to Trey. So you're having to fight through to keep your guy to make sure y'all don't get cooked. That's not the easy thing to do.
You said that James Harden knows how to like disappear on defense to where he's not being taken advantage of. The last 3 games, albeit trash teams, I noticed that Trey, every time they try to get him in a pick and roll, or they try to switch him, he sprints out the way.
Y'all too sorry. That's what I do. Like when you identify, hey, you too sorry to do this to me. Because before we would get the Tom Satoransky career highs. You're right. You have that's what I need from you. Well, Ish Smith go over 27 and 8. You're like, bro, how? Who? But that's the thing, is you guys suck too bad to kick my ass. We ain't having that. No. And that's the thing is I need you $50 million to look like a world beater against. I don't think anybody on that Sixers team legitimately is coming back. Quentin Grimes included. He don't need to be there. He needs.
They need to. Well, they're gonna try to pair him with Maxey though.
If I'm Quentin Grimes, send me to Miami. If I'm Quentin Grimes, send me to Orlando.
I would say Orlando. They got Tyler Hero in Miami. Unless you think Hero gonna run the one.
No,
he runs
time.
Which
it's time for you. Tyler Hero's a shooting slump. He's playing terrible. It's time to move on from Tyler Hero too. Let's be real. Tyler Hero
All-star over Trey. All-star over Trey. You stupid people.
No. You ain't even. I said, oh, Tyler Hero, no. He butt cheeks. Not in a million years. Tyler Hero can't do anything but just shoot when Jimmy's on the floor. He's not a facilitator, ain't a defender. At least Trey is a scorer and an elite, the most elite facilitator. Also, shout out to Trae Young. He's had the most assists ever for a season for him. There are 11 more games to go. Dyson Daniels over 200 steals with 11 more games to go. It is a tad bit unfortunate that we don't have Jalen Johnson for this season.
Oh, my. And he tweeted out, I just want to hoop. He tweeted out, I just want to hoop. Oh, wait. Go back to the odds. So this was the defensive player of the year odds. And, of course, your defensive rating is the lower the rating, the better. So Evan Mobley has the lowest defensive rating at 108. And then Dyson Daniels has the highest at 114, but then he also has the most steals per game at 3.
And he's probably guard. He has the toughest defensive assignment every night. Perimeter scorers just score more than post players. Dyson's getting the NBA's basically best every night. There's no night where you don't have an elite scorer on the floor.
That's a wild picture of Draymond, by the way.
Right.
And of course, so Evan Mobley is who they're really pushing. If you can tell when the powers that be start pushing people to be to try to like get them to season awards. Evan Mobley's a really good defender. He's also next to Jared Allen, but I mean, his defensive rating is good, and they're the number one team. They reward you if it's close. They always go with the record. Draymond Green's Draymond, but I don't think he's going to win it because they're tired of Draymond.
Wait, no, they're until today. If you look at all the news today, Draymond Green's now in front, which I think is nuts. But
and then Jaren Jackson Jr.
But I think
the impact is Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels, the amount of steals and deflections he has, I can't understand how you respectfully. You can't consider these other guys. He's changed 100 more possessions than the next guy. 100. Between steals and deflections. I mean, SGA is at like 118 and Dyson's at 200 and something. So everybody that's like 4, 5, 6, he's doubling on steals. And a lockdown defender. It's not like he's a guy who's just a grifter. I'm sitting in passing lanes like you see Joker. Joker's up there. Joker's not an elite defender. He sits in passing lanes and does what he does at 7 feet tall. Dyson Daniels is locking up your best offensive player and then also just pestering them into giving the ball up 3 times in the first quarter. Shout out to the Sixers. Not having Jalen Johnson it hurts. I don't have anything other than that good to say about that. That just
We can get to Okongwu now because Okongwu, ever since you said we just have to get rid of Okongwu, he has been on a tear, and this is just over the last 3 games where he's averaged 18 points, 12 rebounds, I'll round up 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 50, 40, 90 splits, plus 9.3 plus minus. 50, 40, 90 is crazy. And it's really 60, 40, 90 because he had 58%. That
Hey,
And I think over his last like 15 games, he's had like 13 or 14 double doubles, like with like 5, 20, 10 games in there.
you're not gonna like my answer.
He is cooking.
Trade him.
No, I know that's your answer.
When an asset has peaked, when an asset is at the absolute highest value that it can be, trade him. Trade him. Trade him. Trade him. Trade him. Trade him. Realistically, he ain't that good. I like Okongwu a lot. He ain't that good. He's playing that well. You trade him. You get as much as you can for an asset. He's still undersized. Now, he might be a guy who you can get to Golden State. I don't know what they have.
And we have no bigs.
No. We're going.
That's why you can't trade him. You can't trade unless you go who. Clint's already out. Clint is
out the door.
He out of there. Only other big we got is Barlow.
Soft. Like offensively, solid. Defensively, he's not there. Okongwu to me is undersized, and you're right. That's the reason I keep looking at these drafts. I see, I think his name is Maluk, the starting center for Duke, and y'all know who I want. Danny Wolf.
Yeah.
Now I might be more okay with keeping him if we go get Danny Wolf, and I would like Asa Newell from Georgia. I think that just adding some size.
He's 6'9".
Yes, power forward. He's back up power forward. That will be my bench. Newell, Moge, Danny Wolf. Because I think that Wolf's ability to pass for me is elite, and I think that will help us out a lot. Even though Okongwu is getting better at that, he's much better in the short roll. He shows you what Clint can't do well. That's the one thing I can say that he does, is he makes it very easy to be like, you know what? I tell you who ain't. Clint Capella.
Yeah, you're right about that. I didn't think about it until you just said it. His finishing around the rim with both hands, that was impressive. And now he's shooting 40% from three. Is just astounding.
He's not that either. But what he is you can't leave him. Like Clint, shoot it. Okongwu makes just enough of him that you're like, okay, I don't want to step out there, but he's made two of them. If I let him make three,
yeah,
the coach will be mad. We gotta watch tape on this. At the end of the day, you know it's tape. Son, you saw him make two. You just let him make three. And then as soon as you do that, he makes that pass. The extra pass that Clint can't make, he makes that every time.
His anticipation on defense.
Even in the pick and roll with Muhammad Gay. If you really collapse,
boom. Gay are good.
Boom.
Now I will say his anticipation on defense, it was already like it was kind of like his superpower. It's kind of innate how he could play the center. You have to have that to be 6'8". But this last month and a half, like it don't matter who you are. If you try to dunk on him, you try to do that little floater. Like the only time that he gets in trouble is when it like Paolo. Like ain't nothing you can do with Paolo. You can't do nothing with Franz, But if you are his height or smaller, he blocking that shot.
And he ain't no slouch against the Palos. I mean, the Bam Adebayos. My real issue is Brook Lopez, Joel Embiid, Joker.
I feel Joel on his way out.
I mean, okay, but what I'm saying is more of the people who, like, I'm not really concerned about him versus like Bam or somebody like that. It's the Anthony Davises of the world, bro. Then I just feel like he's not, huh?
Look, it's a 7-footers that ain't good against them.
Yes, that's the part that kind of you're like, but there are just guys who are too big for him to deal with, and you're like,
no, that's where we do need pause size. We do need size. That's where you got to go get the 7'3" guy like Zach Edey on this team. He's good on Memphis, but him off the bench here behind the Kungwu,
just the insurance policy. Whoa. Hey, this what you want to do? Let me go get my. Hey, I'll be right back. I got a guy for you, and that's the reason I think I see some. Like I'm not in love with the kid from Duke as our center or like drafting him, but I understand that with this that works, and in Moge. I really enjoy watching Moge play basketball because he gives a ton of effort, and you can see I can see how you could trick yourself into being like he could be it, but he just doesn't have enough experience.
You know who I would like to see the Hawks get? I'm sorry, this is my last point. I just looked them up. That kid from Maryland, that's 6'11",
not getting there. Not gonna be there. Not gonna be there. We don't have a pick. He gonna be top 10-ish. Derek Queen is who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be top something. It's top 10, top 5. But
how did you get prepared for this?
I'm from
Baltimore.
You got it, big dog. Yeah. You been hanging around Angel Reese. That's an Angel Reese answer right there. But that's a Baltimore answer. But yeah, a player like that, it would be great to pair with Okongwu because he does everything that Okongwu can do, but at 6'10". Offensively, defensively, Okongwu's by himself.
And I mean, that's the reason I like Danny Wolf. Is Danny Wolf can play with Okongwu, or he can play with Jalen. I want a guy who can kind of be an inner. Then you really have some.
You do whatever you want. You put Risha at the 4 at that point. You do whatever.
Right, because you have passing, and then that opens up.
Yeah, then go get me Kuminga. You do that, then go get me Kuminga off the bench. Hey,
right. Or Karras, like at that point, hey man, Karras is a bucket.
I've been saying that. He was a bucket at Michigan, and I was like, bro, the Hawks need to draft him. The Hawks need to get him. And I was like, when he was a free agent, I was like, sign him. And we never did. And I was like, bro, he's exactly what we need off the bench.
I like him.
Somebody that can go get a bucket.
And I think he likes playing in Atlanta because he gets the bogey treatment. Oh, everybody go on. Relax. I can do this. And he got a mid-range, get to the bucket, shoot the 3, solid defender. When I see guys who playing that well, I immediately be like, okay, what can I get back? What can you get? What can you get me? Yes. And I mean, I want us to be a little bit more aggressive on. I think that the Hawks just hold assets too long, so we don't get much back for them, which we just historically have.
John Collins is definitely the example of that. If you were going to move John Collins, you should have moved him a year before you did.
Right. Even Clint, we're going to not get anything back from Clint.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if not for the Lakers situation, we probably could have, but we just couldn't do that. All right, here we go. Let's talk about it. We've been waiting all week.
Right, 6th man of the year.
And I've been telling y'all I ain't gonna say forever, but for a solid amount of time, I am very interested in Josh Giddey for Trae Young. For me personally, and let me be very clear, Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball, and probably a first for Trae Young. But I think that's the really right idea. I also, me and you about to have this conversation. Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso straight up is a terrible deal. I want to hear your opinion on that and on Trae. Let's dance.
Josh Giddey, I mean, I think any decent player on the Bulls right now. I mean, Kobe White, they never had 44 and 5, 35 and 5, 36 and 3. They ain't nowhere to pass the ball. Zach LaVine is gone. So those two guys have the ball, and there's nobody else on that team. So Lonzo ain't really a scorer first. He's a facilitator. So I do agree Josh Giddey's good. I don't know. First of all, I don't know that 88 million is going to get it. I don't know if I would trade him for Trey, but he is 6'8". Like, he's 6'8", and getting those rebounds is good, but I don't know if Chicago's going to trade for him. I think Chicago's going to build around these two. I don't think that trade is possible.
So let me address that first part. Kobe White, you're right. You don't have LaVine, but Kobe White has made himself like the Bulls could have traded Kobe White a long time ago. Kobe White has been on the team for a minute. They're keeping him because he's the comboist of guards, if that makes sense. Like, he's not like your traditional point guard. He plays a little kind of out of control, but he tries hard, and look at the field goal percentage. He ain't chucking either.
No, he gets to the basket. His thing is he can get to the bucket. But I mean, the same thing you say for Okongwu, you're not really this good. Kobe White, you're not really this good. So if you're gonna do it, and if
no. Kobe White is probably a 6-man.
All the things you said about Okongwu, trading high, this is when you do it. Peak asset, this is what you should do with Kobe.
I agree.
I agree. Because I don't think he's this good. You know, now I'm not saying he's this bad either, but this reminds me of THT.
Oh,
like
no,
when he had LeBron, he had like a good 10. He had a good half a season where everybody thought he was good. Yeah.
Okay, playing with LeBron is different.
When you play with, what I'm saying, there was an outlier that multiplied him. Whether it was playing with LeBron or not playing with anybody else, we knew that wasn't him. So what I'm interested to see is,
fair enough, I give you that,
is going forward. If I had to choose between these two, I would definitely keep Giddey, and Kobe White is who I would go try to build around. Giddey and Lonzo. I've got my backcourt, my starting point guard, and my backup point guard, and I'm gonna get everybody else right, and I'm gonna sell that to everybody that those two guards can get me every night, can get me 15 to 20 assists, which means I can get somebody else 15 to 20 shots.
1 point of order now. Last year, on 79 games, Kobe White averaged 19 points, might as well say 38% from 3, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Last year. This year, 20 points, 36% from 3, 3.6 rebounds, 4.4 assists. So it's not like it's an aberration. He is a solid basketball player. This is with LaVine, and last year they had what's the name too, right? DeMar. So I think that he doesn't have the game that people enjoy watching the most, but he ain't no slouch.
I never said he was a slouch. I said what we see on the screen is not him. 44,
29. 40. No.
46, 29.
Yeah, no, that's a lie. No. It'll lie.
Now,
it's a lie.
to get back to why I said that Alex Caruso trade necessarily isn't a loss. I viewed it as a win-win trade, and I think it's a terrible comparison. To me, that's like trading you got a starting quarterback, but your backup quarterback turns out to be good, and you need a nose tackle. So you trade your backup quarterback for a nose tackle. You're not going to compare the backup quarterback or the starting quarterback for the team to the nose tackle you got. You're not going to compare those stats. Alex Caruso is not anything but defensive player. He is the nose tackle. That's why they traded for him. Josh Giddey is the quarterback. He has the ball in his hands 100% of the time he's on the court. So his stats are always going to be inflated versus Caruso. Caruso ain't never going to get no shots. OKC got 8 shooters better than him on that team. 8. Right now. Right now. They missed him and got better.
The only thing with that, with OKC is I think when they traded him, they didn't expect to play for a championship the next season. If you knew that this season was going to be this good, then you keep getting, you go all in. And
you don't. You forget off the court. That was a driving force for them trading him.
Yes, you're right. Sure. But you know what? If you win a championship, then people forget that. OKC dealt with Timothy McVeigh now.
If you win a championship this year, people forget
you dealt
him.
with worse. You dealt with worse than OKC, bro. I hate to say it like that, but
What'd you do with OKC that was worse than PDF?
I said it. We'll say it again later, afterwards. I
missed it.
Yeah. But with that being said, I just don't think you make this trade because I think that Giddey gets you to I don't think you can stop them with Giddey on this team.
Probably not. But if Caruso is healthy with having Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet and Caruso and Dort, and I mean, defensively, that is, I mean, like, sure. And you already got Shy. Like, you would have had to bring Giddey off the bench, which means he's not going to average whatever we just saw, 19. He's not going to have anything close to that because he's off the bench.
Or you could just, I mean,
not taking the ball out of Shai's hand?
No, but what I'm saying is, out of Shai, like, well, you're right. Shai is a lead guard. But when he comes out of the game, then you have Giddey. And then you close the game with all of the above. I'm telling you right now, and I think that the world is just now coming around to Giddey is really good. Like I've tried to tell y'all for at least a little bit of time.
They knew he was good. It's the off the court. If he didn't have the off the court problem, he would still be in OKC.
And just like I told y'all with Buzelis, he is going to be a problem too. That kid is good.
Yeah, he dunked on Luka.
And he gave them like 34 points. And I was like, y'all didn't. I've been trying to tell y'all he's a killer too. If the Bulls and Billy Donovan could get their life together and find a direction for this team would be good. But they just don't have any directions.
They need a big. They need a few bigs. They need to get rid of Patrick Williams. They need a 4.
He gotta go.
They need a 3. No, and they need a 4. They need a 4. They need 2 4s and 2 5s.
You know what I'm gonna tell you to do? I'm taking my 2027 draft pick because I'm not taking this year or next year. And I'm gonna trade you Patrick Williams. I'm gonna give you my first. I just need you to get this contract off my books. You got to take him. He got to go somewhere else.
I don't know if you can go get, but they need a 4 badly.
Plenty. There are plenty of.
Go get Bobo. All them point guards you got over there. Shoot.
Call and see if you can get Lauri Markkanen back.
John Collins.
But or Utah has too many guys who play the 4. Because don't forget, they also got Taylor Hendricks, whose leg fell off at the beginning of the season. That's really the guy who John Collins is supposed to be on the bench.
And Filipowski just decided to play well.
A bucket. I'm trying to tell you. I was like, hey, he's shooting that shit. So there's going to be a log jam at 4 in Utah. Give me. You can't play them all. Give me whatever you don't want. I'll take.
Yeah.
And you get Patrick Williams.
Yeah, you need a 4. And then if you get rid of Patrick Williams, they still need they need a front court. But yeah, the Bulls have the backcourt foundation if they keep Lonzo, Kobe, and Giddey. They got the and
Buzelis.
I can't remember his name. I heard Buzelis. I couldn't remember his name. But Buzelis, if they got them 4, they're gonna be
it's very reminiscent of how Orlando and the Rockets looked like a year ago, where you're like, well, they kind of got the players. You need a coach, and then you just need a little bit of direction, and then that's the reason teams like Miami, you got to keep your head on a swivel because you can get out of there. Now, them getting Kyle Ware was a good pickup for them. That kind of, but now they just need guards.
Breaking news: Juju had to be carried off the court in the NCAA tournament. They think it's something with her knee. So as we hear more, read more, we'll keep y'all posted. Boy, that was a hell of a transition to this topic. I did not mean for that to happen. But I have, and I'm gonna say it because that's the name of the segment. But no, I don't wish this for Juju, T's and P's. We hope you're all good. But speaking of legs falling off, the Knicks are, as we shout out to CP the franchise, Knicks Fan TV says, get used to the Kolick minutes. Sources tell Knicks Fan TV Deuce McBride will miss multiple games with a growing strain. So now you had the Iron Man telling y'all, hey, we playing all these minutes. All these players getting hurt with the same injuries, knees, ankles, all of those things, growing stuff, where all of those same injuries. And now everything that is happening, we've been telling y'all happens with Tibbs. And all the Knicks fans, that's the only reason that I wanted to put this on here, because I want to tell y'all, told you so. And I don't wish any ill on any player, but we told y'all, and y'all kept trying to kill us. You kept, shout out to Mike Wortham. Shout out, you sent us all them messages and stats about Tibbs and minutes played for Jalen Brunson and all them things, and all of them got hurt. All of them. So, like, I understand that y'all have an affinity, and we're from the outside looking in, and we're probably really irrational when it comes to the Hawks, Falcons, and Braves. But y'all have got to admit, and Tibbs he is a great coach for 75% of the season. And then for the last 25% of the season, everybody's gonna get hurt and their legs gonna fall off every single time.
Not my problem. I y'all like to do this. Y'all traded for one starting lineup and no backups. And now you're going to play the guy that you haven't developed all season when you could have just played him and had him ready. I like Kolick a lot. I think Deuce McBride is cool, but I don't think that he's a answer for your backup point guard position. But you guys are so committed to winning regular season games. This is what you get. You got 5 players, and you expect them to do everything. And it ain't going to work. But I don't have to convince I'm not going to sit here and harp on it. Good luck and Godspeed. I don't trust y'all.
Yeah, I just going to have to hold on to the 3, 4, 5 seed and hope everybody else gets healthy and y'all can make a run in the playoffs. But we'll see.
Y'all can't beat good teams. That means you win the first round, maybe, if you get lucky. The GOAT gets sent home. And then you deal with the second apron. Because Karl Anthony Towns ain't cheap. OG Anunoby ain't cheap. You gave up 18 million draft picks for Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and Jalen Brunson. That's it. And you got no draft picks. You said what?
They need a bench. They need a bench bad.
You know what they're going to end up doing? They're going to trade Mikal Bridges for picks. And I was thinking, how do we make that happen? But I just don't see him being able. He's going to go to a place and start.
Who, Mikal Bridges?
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to go to a place and start. He can go to anywhere. He can go anywhere and start. Especially, he's not a.
I don't know if he goes in. I mean,
the Knicks have a first round pick this year, a second round pick this year, a second round pick this year, a first round pick next year, 2 seconds next year, a second round in 2027, and a first round in 2028. Yeah, they got picks. They just gave up all them other picks that they got. They had like 15 or something like that.
They had a war chest of picks at one point, and I feel like they gave them like those were valuable to me. Like, hey, let's.
I would have used those to get Giannis.
That's the part is
Because you gave up picks for Karl Anthony Towns too, remember?
Specifically now, those cheap players, you're going to have to be able to make it on cheap players now. That second apron, there's no more Golden State in this thing through. Like, all right, well, let's just spend our money and do it. Nah, now you're going to have to figure out ways to get these guys who are not cheap. I mean, who are cheap, and get them on your team. That's the reason Karis LeVert, I want him, but if we can get something for him, I'm not against that either.
Yep. But we've come to the end of our basketball segment of episode 183 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back for football. Going to talk about some college football.
No, we're going to talk about your team and driving places.
Par for the course. At this point, par for the course. And then we'll talk about some NFL news.
Can y'all get an NIL Uber deal?
Not a bad Drew. Like, follow, subscribe. We'll be right back.
We are back for the final segment, the football segment. And I'm feeling good, feeling great. How you feeling, big dog?
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our football segment of episode 183 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. Got my little brewery going. Got my little brew going over here. Got a few things we're gonna talk about today. Got a few things we're gonna talk about today.
You know how hard it was for me not to bring up that haircut one more time.
I'd have brought it up every time. I might print that out, put that on my door at work.
If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
We got a few things we'll talk about in football today. We got college football and then, of course, pro football. Not a lot to talk about, but we got a few things. Let's start out with Colorado.
All right, let's.
Colorado has made another star-studded hire, hiring Byron Leftwich as their quarterbacks coach to add to Marshall Faulk.
Ain't he a Super Bowl champion, coach? Wasn't he on that Tom Brady?
Yes, he was offensive coordinator for the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, well, no, that's 4 Super Bowl coaches. Dion, multiple Super Bowls. Warren Sapp, Super Bowl. Marshall Faulk, Super Bowl. Byron Leftwich, Super Bowl coach. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
And they just got what's the defensive tackle that gave Tua that first concussion against?
Yep, him. I know you're talking about.
For the Bengals. He's their defensive line coach. So along with Warren Sapp. So you have an all-pro and a Hall of Famer as your defensive line coach. Only a decade or two past their prime. This is a great hire. Fantastic. But
this is a guy we've been a champion for. Thought he deserved at least an OC job, if not probably a head coaching job. And then for whatever reason, things just kind of went left. I think that Dion is doing a fantastic job of reclaiming guys, polishing them up, and preparing them to go back out into the world and get another chance. I want to see Leftwich do well. This is great. The one thing that I've always said about Dion is, hey, you just lost Shador. You've been coaching him his entire life. You got to now produce at the quarterback position much faster. These guys got to have immediate turnaround. And Julian, I can't think his last name. Looks like he's going to win a job out there. But adding Leftwich to this is the right decision at the right time.
Yeah, Dion is kind of. You knew there were some things from Nick Saban that were going to rub off on Dion because they were so close at one point. Saban did the same thing. If you remember, I mean, he took Sark. What's the dude from Tennessee? As a coach. He used to always be a reclamation. Lane Kiffin. He's been a reclamation project for a lot of coaches. Dion is doing the same thing, but also giving coaches an opportunity who keep getting passed over, especially us. All of these coaches, Byron Leftwich, Marshall Faulk, have been looked over in the coaching world at some point. Byron Leftwich should have been a head coach a long time ago. You have Warren Sapp, who has been wanting to be a coach for forever, but for whatever reason couldn't get in. I like that Dion is giving them an opportunity. I would like him to go look at he was the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. He went to be I would love for Eric Bieniemy to get his way over to Colorado.
You know that's where he went to school.
Yes. I would love for him to go over there with Dion and maybe be a assistant offensive coordinator, running backs coach, or something, assistant running backs coach. That would be great.
Dion seems to have a very realistic approach. He's, everybody has their group me and they talk about sports in it. He seems to be kind of running out of that. Oh, well, you're right. Warren Sapp is probably a great defensive coach. He's probably the perfect guy. Let me call him and see if he wants to come. Oh, you want to talk about running backs coach? Who better than Marshall Faulk? Oh, Byron Leftwich? You mean the guy who was on the same team who coached Tom Brady and with Bruce Arians, and Todd Bowles was there and knows what Leftwich uniquely knows what it looks like. No shade to Jameis, but the difference between what a Jameis-led offense and what a Tom Brady-led offense is. And, I mean, Jameis is not a slouch by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion, but there's just a next 2 or 3 level ascension till you get to TB12. And Leftwich was able to see it up close and personal. So he's a guy who just has the experience.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they win, they're gonna end up going somewhere and being either a college coach or a pro coach. Or Dion, if you meant what you said, when some of these HBCU jobs open up, if they're an analyst or a QB coach or something like that, maybe they go get some head coaching experience down there.
And I mean, I'll be honest, win or lose, if Leftwich can get Julian to look like what he's supposed to look like, he's done his job. Defense and all the rest of that, they're gonna do whatever they want to. If he can produce if Colorado can produce another elite quarterback,
Heisman Trophy finalist.
I don't even think you got to be that good. If you give me a guy Jackson Dart level, Colorado's not known for quarterbacks. That's not their bag. And let's be real, as 2 teams in the SEC, we're not producing these level quarterbacks either. If the bar is low key in hell, it wouldn't take much.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. So, other news. Interesting. So Dion proposed like a jamboree style inter team.
Julian Lewis, I remember.
Yeah, from Carrollton. Dion proposed like a jamboree style or inter squad scrimmage between teams instead of having the spring game. As you know, the spring game is starting to be phased out from a lot of big programs because players get hurt.
They don't want to show you what they got. That's what it really is.
They don't want to show you what they got. They don't want players to get hurt. I know Georgia, because of how strong, especially in the SEC, because of how physical it is, and players now are like literally fighting to get onto the field and get money. You know, players are getting hurt more. I think Georgia lost a running back for every year. Every year we lose a running back.
Jeez.
Fortunately, we got 5 of them. But you know, it's that thing. So instead he said, let's kind of play a controlled scrimmage against somebody else. And Coach Fran Brown from Syracuse readily accepted and said, yeah, we'll come out there and play in this spring. And now it's been reported that the 2 schools are in preliminary negotiations to make this happen and get some paperwork done. That's pretty dope. I like it. Good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. I think that I got to give Dion credit. He's kind of written specifically the Black Coach Playbook of this is how I need to run my team. These are the things that I need to make important. And I think you see a lot of young Black coaches, Fran included, who are, this puts me in a different light. And this goes right into him. He's instituted practice schedules. They also have a financial literacy class they all have to take. But what I also saw today is they have what they call the Syracuse 60. Within 60 days of you graduating, he is committed to getting you a job in your field. And I was like, you smoking it. That he's like, yeah, if you're criminal justice, he explained he was a criminal justice student. Whatever it is in your field, he's trying to get you into a job in your field that pays well within 60 days. And I give Dion a lot of credit for kind of setting a precedent for it being more than just football And I give Fran Brown a lot of credit for taking that mantle, seeing that's the right operation, and pretty much taking off with it immediately.
Fran Brown definitely took notes from Deion. I think Deion, I don't think Deion came up with Coach Prime. I think that was kind of given to him, and he ran with it, and now it's part of a marketing brand. Everything that Deion did at Jackson State and now at Colorado, he has taken it and marketed it to make the brand bigger. If you look at Fran Brown in the post about the Syracuse 60, he's wearing a shirt that says "Winners get washed." That's a callback to when he says if he loses a game, he feels like he doesn't deserve to take a shower. We said that's nasty, but he's learning from the school of Deion, the black coach's playbook, as you said, and he's marketing himself. So for Deion to then introduce this scrimmage, this NFL style preseason scrimmage, because that's really what the preseason is for NFL.
Right.
We don't really play preseason games. You don't really see them. They have the scrimmages after practicing with each other for 3 days. He's trying to bring that to college football. Is genius. And Fran Brown, like, yeah, it's working. And one of the things that a lot of parents are asking, especially with kids that are brands now, is what can you do for my child after school? Like, how are you gonna to commit to getting them a job? Because Syracuse has one of the biggest and most influential networks in corporate America, specifically in journalism.
They have a strong NBA program too. Like, you don't play.
So for them to be able to commit to use those resources is thinking out. It's not thinking outside of the box, but it's putting everything on Front Street. It's making a commitment, which is what people want.
It's a way to get parents to be locked in with their kid. I know that, all right, well, I can send my son there and, you know, he's going to teach him how to be a man. He's going to teach him what it means to lose and to win. And then if your son's not going to go to the NFL, which the vast majority of these students are not, I'm committed to getting them into a job, which, I mean, we know what the job market is like. We've been a part of graduating and finding a job in your field, and being able to putting emphasis on using the Syracuse network to do that is intentional and intelligent.
I think even from a different standpoint, it definitely, and this will be my last thought, we can move on to the University Speedway down here in Athens. This is also no, because this is a serious thought. There we are. But Fran Brown, by committing to get you a job in your field, will attract a lot of grad students too. So not only will you get freshmen and parents and all those things, all of those transfer guys that have a 5th year of eligibility that are 23 and grown, all of those, if I transfer to Syracuse and get my master's in whatever, like my cousin went to Jackson State Jacksonville State after he played at Georgia Tech to get his criminal justice master's degree, you can now do that at Syracuse. By doing that at Syracuse and getting the grad chap, now I'm also leveling the playing field because I got grown players, older players, versus indoctrinating a lot of freshmen. So I think it's on twofold. So that's great. It's a fantastic thing.
Too fast, too fury.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Wait. Nitro Toggle, you knew you was gonna get you.
The Georgia Bulldogs had 2 players arrested for speeding and reckless driving in Dodge Chargers and Hellcats. Nitro Toggle being 1, and Marquise Easley being number 2. Marquise Easley actually drove his car and hit a residence, a car in a driveway. As you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 27 players have gotten arrested for speeding. Some of them, I will say all of them are warranted. The famous one was Jalen Carter and everything, because one player passed away. And at some point, well, no, you don't, because money's involved now, so it don't matter. But at some point, if I were in that program, when somebody passes away, multiple people pass away, you kind of gotta look at it differently. But this is also it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. I would take away the NIL. I would suspend I wouldn't give them the car. Well, no, because you got to, because I don't know what to do here. I don't know how you stop this, because you really can't.
I hate to say this, but this is the type of player that you're recruiting. And this is what you're getting. This is as good as it is. This is what you get with certain points at Florida State. This is what you get at certain points with Miami.
Florida.
I mean, Florida. We ain't been this bad. We've been problematic, but y'all, I feel like we're one step down. I'm by no stretch of the imagination. Am I sitting up here saying that the Gators ain't had our fair share of foolishness? But we ain't Free Shoes University. We ain't Miami and Uncle Luke, and we ain't y'all Too Fast, Too Furious. And Kirby, this is becoming your thing. Your internet joke is police versus University of Georgia players. That's an identity. And I think that's the bigger issue is like Florida State, Free Shoes University. That was like their identity, but it wasn't Bobby Bowden's identity. Miami, that was the whole
identity. Free Shoes University is something that came and went. That's something that you hold on to as a Florida fan. Nobody calls Florida State Free Shoes University outside of fans or Miami.
They had a run where they were wilding, like the Sebastian Janikowski time. There was a point where they were out of pocket. And now UGA is, if you get on the internet now, you're going to see a UGA versus police joke. And it's funny. That's too far.
Another side to that too, though. Because there's a lot of people, I won't say what demographic, but by the conversation you'll know. There's a lot of people that think know a lot of these players are targeted. That doesn't give them an excuse, but it's been well known in Athens that Athens police target Georgia players. They've been doing that since
Clark County. You know,
they've been doing that since before Kirby. They did that with Mark Richt.
Right.
Remember we kicked Isaiah Crowell off the team because he had the scratched off serial number and all that stuff.
Let me explain this to you in regular black terms. Being a UGA player, speeding in Clark County is like being black and speeding in Cobb County. We can talk about what's right, but you better make good decisions.
Yeah, and I think when you recruit nationally, a lot of these, you and I know not to do that being from Georgia, but if you're from like Opelika, Florida, where a lot of these players are from, not saying Florida's problematic, but when you're from places where you don't have that interaction with police,
you're not familiar.
Yeah, Florida and Jacksonville, you can speed. I mean, I'm sure they got police and crazy stuff, but
bro, we don't care about none of that.
You go look at that list. Most of them are from Florida and Texas. Not giving them any excuse. There's some Georgia players there too, and I'm not giving Kirby an excuse. But you got to look at it objectively.
You got to get a hold on that because that's becoming your thing. Okay, then don't. The other part is.
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you win a championship this year, that they're gonna be right back giving you some new Hellcats.
You're right, but I mean, y'all also had a player die or no?
Player died and a
cheerleader,
manager.
Right. You can't have too many more of those. That
I'm not saying you can, but what got past it though? They won national championship.
You're right.
Now, we honor them and we honor them, but it's not the same.
You're right.
You're right. It's not as visceral now. Unfortunately,
the championship removes the vitriol. You're right. I mean, and that's
unfortunately, champion. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying that's bad. But what I'm saying is, if you win,
thank you. It's like, well,
if you win, you win. So
yeah.
Hey man, hey, maybe that's why the Falcons don't ever draft no UGA players. But we're gonna do something this year. Speaking of Falcons,
draft card myself.
Julio Jones. I kind of figured this with the way that he left, even though when he left, it was time for him to go. But Julio and the Falcons don't really get along, apparently, according to Jamal Lewis, who is one of the more famous, not Jamal Lewis. Jamal Anderson. Dirty Bird, 1998 Falcons said, don't count on Julio being back in town with the Atlanta Falcons anytime soon. If you know, he famously missed the Matt Ryan jersey retirement and Ring of Honor induction. And basically, Julio, if he's inducted into the Ring of Honor anytime soon, he probably won't be there. Shocking to see it written out in public.
That sucks, man. That sucks. I really don't have a good answer for this. I don't know what. I can't get in the middle of two people because I don't know what was said and what was done. But I think that, Julio, you should go where you're loved and supported. And the city of Atlanta still loves and supports you. And whether you have a beef, we all have beefs with our jobs from time to time. I don't want that to get in the way of what you deserve and being celebrated. Because if not, I don't think that you'll ever get past. I think you're the greatest Falcon ever, but the world will continue to move forward too. And I think that you deserve it. I want to see you get it.
When
you didn't,
unfortunately, you're associated 28-3.
And then also harsh reality. After you left Atlanta, you didn't have anything else. So it's not like people are there's not like Peyton Manning who went to Denver and won them a championship. And then some of those people are like, oh yeah, I love Peyton Manning, or Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. And you just didn't, after you left Atlanta, it was over. So we all you have and you all we have. We hope you figure it out, big dog. Thoughts and prayers. I don't know what else really.
Signed with the Falcons to even retire his jersey,
right?
Falcon, which is sad because every franchise great should have that. But we'll see. We don't gotta belabor the point.
And he's not technically retired yet, so still more time and hope and prayers and thoughts and prayers.
Okay. But you around
Reggie didn't put him out the pack.
But speaking of the Falcons, man, so it's off season, but it's really about to ramp up now. Free agency has come and gone, or it's still going, I guess. But for the Falcons, it's pretty much over with. We made a bunch of small signings. I think our biggest signing was Leonard Floyd, defensive end signed, and rush edge linebacker signed. Another overhill rusher. But the draft is in 1 month. So the draft is in 1 month, and there's a few things I want to talk about leading up to the draft. And of course, we'll probably do our own mock drafts. We got a mock draft coming with all of our other friends who represent their teams. And then, we have the draft. So with it being a month out as of today, I wanted to talk about the state of the offense first. Why the state of the offense? Because obviously we ain't really about to do nothing on offense in the draft. The Atlanta Falcons have the most expensive offense in the league. Yes, this graphic is kind of misleading. It's the most expensive offense in the league because of Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins were to leave, I think we drop down to, I think he's $50 million a year, right?
Yeah, it was yet to be determined, depending on what happens.
Well, I'm just talking about now. If we were to get rid of him free and clear, we would drop down to like 15th, 16th. So
right. Yeah. Somewhere in there for sure.
It's the state of the offense is we lost Drew Dahlman. We lost the only person I think we lost on offense was Dahlman, our center. Now our offensive line was the strength of our offense. But we're one of the better run blocking offensive lines in the league, and our pass pro blocking was getting better. So by losing Dahlman, we have to replace the center. Now we have an undrafted free agent in Neuziel, Neuziel.
Ryan Neuziel. We signed him 1 year, $3.26 million. I'm not gonna go over all the signings because literally no signings have changed from last week. The only new one is we're in the process of signing Jordan Fuller to a 1-year deal. Contract deals pending. So we haven't really. We've made really one move since last Monday to this Monday. Shout out to you guys who are rocking with us.
So I mean, I knew on offense we weren't going to do much in the draft, though. It's already said. I guess in the draft, if we address anything, we're going to draft the center. We're going to do defense, center, maybe wide receiver. Depending now, if we trade Kyle Pitts, there's always that rumor that we might trade Kyle Pitts on draft day. There's always that rumor. But from what we've seen in the offseason, Kyle Pitts and Michael Penix have been working together and been hanging out, buddy, all of that. So Norwood said he can go anyway. But that remains to be seen. But I don't really see us making a high draft pick on offense. There's nobody in this draft that I would draft there's nobody in this draft that I would draft on offense that I would waste my number one pick on, because we're so set at receiver. We're so set at running back. Unless we trade Pitts, we're set at tight end. We need
the only thing that I could even imagine is if Tet drops and he's just there.
He just ran a 4.4. 4.4.
I agree. But I've seen drafts where he drops. If he's available, I'm a crazy person. Y'all know I always lean offense over defense. And maybe I'm a 2K god, but I'm taking him.
You'd be fired. If your defense is bad next year, then you'd be fired. Because you have to address, and then you're gonna set up the offense for a defensive-minded head coach to come in, and they're gonna Dan Quinn you and take your team to the Super Bowl, and then be boo-boo afterwards. They got them either taking Jalen Walker, Mykel Williams, Malachi Starks. Now they interviewed the safety Nick Imawari from South Carolina, and Will Johnson from Michigan.
I see a lot of drafts where Will Johnson is available. I think that if he's available, my gut tells me, and my gut has been right. I'm going to tell y'all, since I've been potting, I have picked a guy pre-draft, and every guy that I've picked has been a world beater. One of those guys even has a Super Bowl. So I feel very confident if I pick Will Johnson, he's going to be a world beater. But that also means his ass is not coming to Atlanta. Just like Kyle Hamilton and just like Jalen Carter. But we're going to see. We're going
Jamar Chase. Pick Kyle Pitts.
No, I think that was before we started potting. That's not one that I had. Maybe you had. I didn't have that one. That's not a hill I was dying on. I know the hills that I died on. The hills that I died on was Kyle Hamilton. Now, Drake London, it made me be very comfortable with that. Bijan has made me very comfortable with Jalen Carter. And I will say, I think that it's time for us, just like Onyeka Okongwu, it's time to trade Tyler Algier. Time to move him. Time to move him. Don't let you're not going to re-sign this asset to a bunch of money. Move him. He's a good running back. There are teams that will do it. I know it's not fun. Trust me on this. Take your emotions out of it. Just make a good decision. Trade Tyler Algier, get you a pick, or get you a player. But you trade him now because we never re-signing him. Especially now. Bijan's going to get re-signed and it ain't going to be cheap.
Yep. And speaking of not cheap, Kirk Cousins now is exerting his power through his no trade clause. We did not cut him, which we told y'all we weren't going to cut him, and we absorbed that $10 million hit. And we went over how all of that could end up coming off the books when he's traded. But he is not going to waive his no trades clause or accept the trade till after the NFL draft. So after the NFL draft, because I'm paraphrasing, he basically doesn't want to happen what happened here in Atlanta, where they paid him, trade for him, and then they draft a quarterback to replace him.
I don't hate that.
But that's also not taking accountability. You got hurt and you ain't telling nobody. And you out there and you went and played boo-boo.
I'm not telling. I think that everybody's doing what's in the best interest of themselves. And I'm going to be real here. I don't think that Kirk owes us a whole lot because y'all did that and then drafted a quarterback. I think the Falcons did what was right for them. I think that Kirk Cousins is doing right for what him and his family think is the right decision. And I would feel like a hypocrite if I told you, oh no, well, he should have done X, Y, and Z. Hell no. Kirk Cousins wants to be a starting quarterback. He's not ready. Whether he can or cannot do it is up for debate. Literally up for debate too, because Kirktober was Kirktober. Now November, December was tragic. So he has a lot of good tape and a lot of bad tape. And I think that's just what you get from a guy at this point. But I think that we both understand that there are going to be teams that are going to try to do the Michael Penix. Hey, let me get a guy who can bridge me over, pause if applicable, get us to a situation where we win some games. And Kirk is notoriously good in October. I think that the Giants will be great to win some games. I think, the Steelers will be great to win. I mean, to a lesser degree, to win some games. But there are teams, and people kick my ass all the time about it, but Kirk taught this team how to win. And learning how to win is important.
Sure. Y'all just make sure if y'all do that, y'all give Terry Fontenot his credit for doing that a year earlier than y'all. He's doing what you just said is the exact same thing that he did. I said
give black man credit for making good decisions. Since when?
Everybody said that was a bad decision. Everybody said that was a bad decision.
When have you seen the world give a black man credit for making good decisions?
Huh. I mean, never. But we know that.
Right. So don't expect it now. Damn, I sound like my dad. What's up? Do it sound like it's gonna change, Dr. Barr? Yeah. Well, no.
The Philadelphia Bulldogs have struck again. BJ Ojulari has signed in a 1 year, $4 million deal with the Philadelphia Eagles after not re-signing with the New York Giants. Where have I heard that before? That makes
Saquon, y'all hire it.
That makes 8. Shout out to Saquon with Jameis too. We're gonna get there. That makes 8. That makes 8 Bulldogs on the roster.
Now, you know they're gonna draft another 2.
They are predicted to either get Malachi Starks.
No. I was joking. I was being facetious. I didn't want you to actually. Now, next. Let's talk about AJ.
They talk about Michael. No, we're not. Don't go to AJ yet. Hold on. Or Michael Williams. Shout out to the Giants. If BJ Ojulari gets 8 to 10 sacks, and replaces Josh Sweat the way that they hope he will, the Giants will have been insane. And a reason I want to do Jameis next is because at the Super Bowl, Jameis said to Saquon, hey, where do you think I should sign next? And Saquon said, hey, I think New York needs a quarterback. Lo and behold, a month and a half later, Jameis Winston signs with the New York Giants. Ain't that funny?
I don't necessarily see it this way. I see it as New York needed some good juju. And there's not one person who brings more positivity and good juju to your team than Jameis Winston. I think that everybody there still gets fired at the end of the season, but the last season clips and I mean, also, it's just unique clips. The last clips you have is, well, I'm gonna feel real bad if Saquon goes. Jameis is going to outclip you out of that. He's going to say enough things that, you know how sometimes you just need some things on your feed to get that out of there. Hey, just quotables and Jameis, and then hopefully people will forget about every terrible decision that we've made. And I think that has to be the only strategy there. Talking about people making.
This is great for Jameis. Oh, my bad.
Oh, no, go ahead.
That was great for Jameis just because Jameis' personality went crazy at Super Bowl in New Orleans. Jameis in New York, don't let him win some games he's not supposed to. That brand gonna go crazy.
No. Why am I leaving New York? Give him a TV show in New York, right there. He's already there.
Next Michael Strahan. Is the writing is right there. He could do it. All right, AJ Brown, no drops all last year.
You Tennessee Titans. Now, as much as we're going to talk about the Giants making poor life decisions, you trading away AJ Brown, him going to the Eagles and winning a Super Bowl and not dropping a ball for the whole in season is unreasonable. It is. And y'all just get to slide under the radar because the Giants are so stupid. See, this is the reason that teams don't want Hard Knocks. Because the Titans are just as dumb. You just don't have a clip.
Traylon Burks has less everything. They drafted the Mayo man. Now their defense is good, but offense, they've sold the offense.
They also... I hate what they did with Rand Carthon. They basically let him fix this whole team, get them a number 1 draft pick, and then, let's fire him now.
Mm-hmm.
But we know how Juju goes. You're going to pay for that. You shall pay.
You going to pay because you going to get Kirk Cousins in this trade, and we're going to take whatever pick you want to give us.
And this is going to be your...
Oh, Lord.
That's your juju right there. That is your juju right there.
That hairline is absolutely awful. That hairline is absolutely awful.
Where's the... Hold on. I see a lot of things. I don't see a hairline.
Yeah, you do. It's squishy.
You the mathematical genius here, bro. I see a lot of things. I don't see not nail line.
You didn't take calculus? That's a parabola. You don't see that?
Yo, man lined you up with a slope intercept, bro. That's crazy. Y plus mx. What's that? Y plus mx plus b.
Y equals mx plus b.
That's it. Hey, you right. We're gonna close the pod just like this.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of episode.
Go back. Yeah, bring it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of episode 183 of the Splashcast. Monday Night Raw. Lord, if we ain't forget anything, take us out.
Unforgettable. You'll never find bloom. bro. A hairline like mine, bro. Oh my God. Number one. More Black Baseball, not to be confused with More Black Beijing. Once again,
More Black Beijing. There you go, the title.
oh my God. Shout out to Drake Baldwin being added to the opening day roster for the Braves. Woo. Yeah, so More Black Baseball. Number two. Hey, and you know what? Y'all finna make me stop this. I keep telling y'all every week more black cowboys and cowgirls. Y'all in there where them fans at? End it. Throw it back. Be done with it. Be delivered. Give it up. Whatever it is, leave that where it is. Y'all have gone too far.
Why?
So more. I'm tired of it. We saw the girls in the gas station with the cinnamon rolls. I saw people at the church.
Where the snacks at?
Y'all have to let it go. This is the reason we can't have nice things now, is because y'all go too far.
Where the snacks at? Raccoonery.
Right. Who family let you do this? And somebody be like, ain't that your cousin? Now you have to avoid them, and you got to act like you didn't see it. So yeah, more black cowboys and cowgirls, but please just do better. Number three, the historically black college university you went to, your cousin went to, your auntie, your uncle went to, all of those people, please send some money over there. The historically black college university in your neighborhood, the one you go to for homecoming, step shows, or just to be around your people, please send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University. All we asking for is $18.68. We may be asking for another $20 though, because we're gonna have to cut this man hair off. He gonna have to go.
If you cut it off right now, what would it look like? It would just look like a semicolon.
It ain't enough soap in the world to get that Beijing out that skull, boy. This has been an adventure, and this has been fun. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Solid pod tonight, 2 hours and 50 minutes in and out. Y'all be safe. Adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we meet again, y'all be safe. Red, you got anything else?
Y'all, I'm on my way there. Just let you know, I'll cut my hair off before I ever Beijing and
Beijing my brain.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's awful. I'll go to Turkey and just get the whole transplant. I wonder how much he spent on Beijing a week. Or is that a one time?
Somebody is shaking in their boot because they don't want to be named as a barber. You did this? Did you use a protractor or a compass?
He told me to do it.
You know, I was about to say his wife probably did this. Baby, I'm gonna get you straight. The hell you are.
He confident.
All right. Do something. All right, we done here.